What's up, everybody, and welcome to Tino's Time Wrestling, guys, as it is now the world premiere episode of Tino's Time WrestleMania Throwback Series here on the Retro Series, guys. After last night, we saw the Elimination Chamber. We now have another match official with Asuka winning the Elimination Chamber and going on to face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. We got Logan Paul costing Seth freaking Rollins. We got a couple more matches that have been set up. We'll have to see how it goes. So I thought, and you guys know, we've been hyping this up for a while. We're going to go back from here on out, from this Sunday, all the way up until the Thursday night before WrestleMania weekend. And we're going to have 10 plus special guests. We're going to relive all of this in its entirety from WrestleMania 2000 to WrestleMania 33. So I hope all you guys will come and join me. We're waiting on the two special guests to come and hang out. As soon as they come in here, we'll introduce them and we'll get the show started. But while we wait for them, everybody, let's go over the card that we're going to see here tonight, or today, I should say, afternoon, night, evening, wherever you guys all may be. So let's go over this card real quick. And we got ourselves a tag team match. We got Bull and the Bossman taking on D-Lo and the Godfather with Ice-T. We got a WWF Hardcore title, a 15-minute time limit battle royal. We got a tag team match with a TNA Albert and Test with Trish Stratus against the Head Cheese, Al Snow and Steve Blackman. We got the WWF World Tag Team Titles triple threat ladder match, the inaugural ladder match with the Dudley Boyz, the Hardy Boys, and Edge and Christian. We got ourselves a good old-fashioned cat fight. It might not be PG, but that's okay. 6-man tag team match. We got Chyna. We got Too Cool, Grandmaster Sexay, and Scotty Too Hotty taking on the Radicalz, Dean Malenko, Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat, and Perry Saturn. We get a WWF Intercontinental Triple Threat match with Kurt Angle. You suck. You suck. He's taking on CB versus Chris Jericho. And then we got ourselves, I don't know why they put it on there twice, but that is I don't know why I must have put, it's for the WWE. That's right. The first match is for the Intercontinental Championship, and then the second match is for the European Championship. That's right. I forgot about that. And it's funny because I just went back and rewatched this whole Road to WrestleMania like last week. We got a tag team match, Kane and Rikishi with Paul Bearer. Whoever thought Kane and Rikishi would be a tag team? I kind of forgot about that. Taking on DX, the DX, the Road Dogg, and X-Pac with Tori. And then we have a WWF World Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way Elimination match with the McMahon in every corner. And guys, now that we've got one of the guests in the waiting room, let's introduce him. Let's get him in here so he can come and join me and start talking about WrestleMania 2000. He's been on the channel before from Rated R for Wrestling. Let's welcome Anthony back to Tino's Time.
What's up, Anthony? What's up, Tino? Thanks for having me back, bro.
How you doing, man?
Doing all right, not bad, pretty good.
I was just telling everybody the card in case everybody forgot it. There's some of the people in here that weren't even born in 2000. I'm like, damn.
Probably a lot of people.
I'm like, great. So I'm trying to tell everybody the card so everybody knew what was going on in case they have not seen. I'm one of those. I went back and rewatched everything that happened around this time, so I knew what was going on. A lot of things I learned that I had no idea.
Yeah.
So we're just waiting for Steve, and then I figured we could just press play. And then, sounds good. Like I said, whenever you got to go, just let me know.
Yep, we'll do. Let me just set up my Peacock real quick. So
there you go. How old were you around in 2000?
2000, I was 12.
12? Okay. Do you remember like watching this? Like, do you remember like?
Yes. Well, I remember from this, right? So my cousin at the time, right? Well, I mean, not at the time, he's still my cousin, but my cousin, he had one of those cable boxes that would get you like all the, the free channels and stuff like that, the free pay-per-views. So this was the first time that they did like a fan access that I can remember for WrestleMania. So they had like a whole like 24-hour thing going on where they were just showing fan access stuff. They were showing build up to the WrestleManias. They were showing just a bunch of stuff. And we sat there literally probably for 12 hours before the event started, just watching
God.
that the whole day, and then
That's a lot.
saw the event afterwards. Yeah.
Oh damn. Okay, man. Well, let's welcome our next guest, and I'll ask you a couple more questions before we start the show. But let's welcome the man, the myth, the legend. He's been on here before. I've been on his channel a few times, and I appreciate him taking the time out of his day to come and join us for this pay-per-view from SCW Wrestling Channel. It's my man, Steve. What's up, Steve? How you doing? Thanks for coming.
I'm doing very well, Tina. What an intro. I really appreciate the kind words. It's great to be on the channel once again. And it's WrestleMania season. I almost want to sing the classic theme song from the 90s, but I'm going to resist some karaoke at the start today.
I was just telling him I've been going back and I rewatched like from like January to like March to know what was going on, because I don't remember really like too much of this like build. So I wanted to go back and see like how it like got together and everything. And it's just so crazy to like, but yeah.
It's a fun time from what I've got from memory, because I can't remember everything, I'll be honest, but from the stuff that I do know, obviously particularly with the journey from Cactus Jack and Mankind, Mick Foley, whatever his journey to WrestleMania certainly is a special one, and there's some great matches with him, Triple H along the way. So it's
I didn't realize how much people hated Triple H. Like he was an asshole. Like I was like I get it now. Like okay, it makes sense. And then Kurt Angle too. I remember it all came back to me. I remember why I hate Kurt Angle too back in the day. I was like, it all makes sense. So I just went over the match card before you guys got in here. So I was just asking Anthony kind of like what like he remember just kind of telling me his story. Do you remember like what was going on like at this time, like when it was live? Do you remember what was going on? Like
I would have had school the next day, that's for sure. So I definitely didn't watch it live.
Kids are so lucky nowadays; they don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
These Saturday pay-per-views, I mean, they're all resting from last night. It didn't end until what, like 11 last night, I think.
See, I went to bed my time at about 5:20 in the morning.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I decided that like once it got to the end of the men's chamber match, I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna watch the Sammy Roman. All of a sudden, I watched that, and then before I know it, I was like, guys, I haven't got time to do a review. I haven't got time to do a review tomorrow. Let's get on and do it now. So, God. I mean, I probably have an eye shut doing that review, but certainly it was a fun time. But going back, like you said, there to that time period, school would have been a thing of what I'd have been doing. But I mean, I was a big, really into the height of the Attitude Era. Like you said, there was some great things going on at the time. Obviously, Austin's out for this WrestleMania, which is a shame. Undertaker as well. But there's some great stuff. That the triple threat I remember with Angle, Benoit, Jericho, really was looking forward to. And as well, the ladder match as well. Edge and Christian, Hardy's, Dudley's. Those were the ones I was really looking forward to going into it. And who doesn't love a hardcore championship scramble match?
Oh man, they did those hardcore title. Like it's so crazy. Like, and that's the thing. Like going back and watching stuff, it's kind of funny to see some of the stuff that they do back then that they kind of try to do now, like with the 24/7 title. But even like the storylines, they kind of even seem to like recycle with things where it's just like you know, and like I kind of honestly like forgot like how like bad it was back then. I'm watching something from like 2001, and I think it's Tori is walking around. She was with APA, and she wanted to go and walk around and be like the nudist or whatever, because the Godfather turned around and ended up not being the Godfather anymore, and he joined that group. I forgot what they were called.
Right to censor.
It's just there it is. The quick to censor. So it's just so crazy to see how far like from here to now it is. What was like you said that you were talking about? What is the match you were looking forward to the most? Like right now we're looking forward to Cody and Roman. What was the match going into this that like you were like, I'm ready to see it? Was it the Fatal 4-Way?
No, actually, I think it would be the ladder match. At that time, I remember No Mercy 1999, and I remember the ladder match between Edge and Christian, the Hardys, and I remember being blown away. And that was just that wasn't for a tag title or anything. I think it was to win Terri Runnels' managerial services at the time, and I was blown away of how good it was. Became a Hardy Boys fan instantly with some of the stunts they did, particularly Jeff Hardy in that match. Oh. When it got to this with the Dudleys involved as well, you knew when they came in, it was a game changer. The Royal Rumble in that year, obviously, like you said, on the build to it, the Hardys and the Dudleys with the table match. So these three teams for me had everything going into that I was most looking forward to. And I was always a big Jericho fan as well. So that triple threat with the IC title, European title, still haven't ever, to my knowledge, ever done anything like that since. And I think that would be that would be something fun to bring back if they had the opportunity, especially with now we've got like 2 world titles, 2 tag team titles being held by the same team. I think there could be a good way to do that at some point if they want to separate those championships.
Yeah, I mean, you make a very good point there. So I don't know what happened to Anthony though. So I was gonna ask Anthony the same question. So once he gets back in here, I'll ask him the same question, then we could start it. Because like I said, I'll be honest, I don't really remember, and I say it all the time on my channel because people ask me. I remember from like 2005, like vividly, like from like the Royal Rumble 2005 when Vince broke his knees and the end and all that. Like I remember everything. So I try to let everybody know because I just don't remember and I don't want to say anything that was like wrong. That's why I needed to go back. But Anthony, welcome back.
Yo, what's up, guys? Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. So I just asked Steve, like what like we were talking about before you got on there too, like you were talking about like everything. What match was like the one you were looking forward to the most that like as a 12-year, like I remember being 12 and I was like looking I remember John Cena and JBL. Like I hated JBL. What was like the match that you were looking forward to? He said the triple threat ladder match.
So from this specific pay-per-view, right? From this WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for me, it had to have been I mean, the main event, because I was a huge Rock guy at the time. So I was like super, off the high of him winning the Rumble. I was obviously super excited going in. I wish it would have been just the singles match straight up, but with the McMahon in every corner thing. But still, at that time, I was like 12 years old, so I was still into it, and that's like the main thing I wanted to see.
Yeah, that was the one thing, like with the Fatal 4-Way, it was so funny to see them the way Triple H treated Big Show on the road, where he's like he had to prove how he got this, how did the Big Show really won the Royal Rumble, and how the Rock's legs touch, and then he had to get evidence, and then he had to get a guy from the crowd, and Triple H put him through all these hoops, and it was just like, it was just I don't know, I was just this whole pay-per-view, I was just very like you guys said with like Austin and Triple H, and still to see like the card, it's crazy to think how many people were really like involved back then. That like this roster that they had is just crazy. So we've been talking for a few minutes, and obviously this pay-per-view is like 3.5 hours. So if you guys want to press play now, we get started, and then we get ready. I'm gonna put it on there so then everybody knows what match, and then like I said, a lot of people have not seen it, so then we'll put in everything. And guys, I'll get to the chat. I'll see what everybody's doing. I see Jonesy's here. Square Circle.
Good old Jonesy.
Chumblebee. What's up, Chumblebee? What's up, Jackie? How you guys doing? The national anthem. Did they say who's doing it this year yet?
No, I don't think so.
No. Lillian Garcia was always so good at it.
Question, guys, can you hear my audio at all?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah,
I can't. Do you want to just keep it on mine? Can you guys hear mine?
Yeah, I can hear yours. Perfect.
Okay. Is it too loud?
No, I think it's fine.
No, for me, it's fine. As long as it's not not a problem for copyright, it's cool for me.
No, yeah, I tried last night because it happened with the NXT Vengeance Day. I got a copyright for some like a song that they played, and I used my TV right next to me. So last night for the chamber, I tried to use the TV in front of me, and it didn't get anything. So
to be fair, if you're sorry, I was gonna say if you're copyright for America the Beautiful, I think someone's a bit harsh out there.
I feel, man, I just come on everything. They just can't. I've noticed though on these older ones, they don't care. Like I've noticed, like even like the older movies I went back and watched, there was like a lot of them that like they just didn't like care. But then like I went back and watched like the new Halloween, and it was like everything. So I wonder if like it didn't start till like a certain time where I don't know. Because everybody's mad that I can't show them the screen. I'm like, listen, if I could, I would. That would be cool. Listen, I would. We'd all
do it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
Pat McAfee said he pays $4 billion to show the NFL stuff. I was like, that's ridiculous. I was like, that's crazy. I don't know if it's like for $1 million or something like that. I was just like, that's like crazy.
Yeah, no, they're ridiculous when it comes to that stuff.
I don't know. 1985. Somebody asked me why I didn't do WrestleMania 1 to 33, and I said we'll be here until like next year. I'm like, maybe next year we'll do one.
You got to start that one early.
That's way early.
One per day.
Literally. I scheduled it so I'm doing 3 a week because that was the only way I could get it to where the finale is the week or the Friday before WrestleMania. Because the weekend, obviously, we have Stand and Deliver, the Hall of Fame, SmackDown, and there's too much on. I feel I'm gonna be sleeping by Sunday night.
So, out of interest, Tina, which WrestleMania are you most looking forward to seeing out of all these?
the one I remember the most is the one in Chicago, because it was in Chicago, so everybody was just in Chicago. It was like the trucks were around. I remember seeing all that and all of that. But the one I really want to go back, and it's one that I haven't seen in a while, is 19. Like, I've seen it, but I've never like sat down and like watched like it all the way through and knowing what's going on.
That's
And I
one
feel
of the ones that's like really underrated. 19.
Yeah, and that's what I've heard a lot of. And at that time, I think I was like, because 2005 I was 10, or 9. I don't know. So yeah, I was still pretty young, and it did, like I said, it was like 2005, like the Royal Rumble, and I really vividly remember that was because John Cena, and obviously, as everybody knows, I'm like John Cena crazed. So, boy, yeah. Thank you guys all for coming and hang out. We got 9 people in here, by the way.
Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for checking us out. Make sure to hit the like button for Tino as well. Give him a subscribe as well.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate you guys coming in. I know these watch-alongs could be sometimes like boring, but
no, I mean it's either you watch it by yourself or you watch it with other people. So
I mean, true. I mean, very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I found a few people for the WrestleMania 33. I saw it's 5 hours and 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, I'm like, we're gonna have to find like 3 or 4 guests for that one, because I don't see anybody. I remember watching that one with my friend though, and it ended at like 1 a.m. when Roman finally pinned the Undertaker, and I was just like, the other thing I've noticed too, I know why they can't do it, but the signs back in the day were just like, it felt so like it. I don't know. I just wish we'd be able to bring like these many signs. And then we got the Godfather starting off WrestleMania. You gotta love it.
Yeah, the signs are always like a big thing. I mean, you see all the like the flood of signs that were in the crowd. It was cool because it's like a lot of because you end up catching yourself looking to see what everybody wrote on their sign.
Yeah, and some of the things that they said, some
clever,
of the, oh, they were clever. Did you guys see that Edge and Beth Phoenix have that picture of Dominic on their Instagram profile picture? I'm like, that's so funny. We are starting off, guys, with the Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan. Is that how you guys say it?
Yeah, that is indeed. Yeah, that is the father of what's his name? Brooks Jensen.
Is it? That's
his
right.
Father, yeah.
Fun fact. Thanks, Steve. I didn't know that.
No worries.
We got off the top.
I'll try and bring this as good as I can for it. We've probably peaked already at 17 minutes. Match 1.
Well, I mean, I think it's overall, as this WrestleMania is, I think it's like one of the weaker ones out of the whole lineup of WrestleManias, but it can't be as bad as WrestleMania 9 that me and Steve did one time.
God!
And we never did WrestleMania 11, but I think that's probably the worst WrestleMania of all time. 11.
Yeah, those two, WrestleMania 2 as well, where it's in like 3 different locations.
Yeah, 3 different was pretty bad. Yeah.
Oh god, that's terrific. Yeah.
I've seen the WrestleMania, the documentary on it, and just seen that. I've never actually like went back and watched that. How was it? Like, was it weird watching that? Like, because I've never went.
No, they go back and forth. Like they tell you, like, oh, we're gonna cut it over to Chicago, then we're gonna cut it back to Staten Island. I think it was. One of them was at the where the Islanders used to play. And I forgot the third location. I can't remember where it was.
California.
Maybe.
I think
maybe California.
It might have been. I forget. We got Jadis in the chat. What's up, Jadis? Thanks for coming and hanging out. We got Off the Top Rope podcast. Thank you guys all for coming. Hey, yes, the good old days. So this is the wrestling. Way better than sometimes the shit we see now. Not very good. So
we know that this back then is like the whole card was popular. You know what I mean? Every guy in the card was popular. That's the big difference.
Yeah, and that was the thing. I feel like there was somebody that could like relate to everybody, and it's like now there's just a lot of people that I feel like they have like a hard time relating to. Like, there's a lot of people that like have such a hard time relating to these NXT superstars now that were like back then it was easier to relate to these guys. And even like watching it back, like there's some of the guys like I'm like, oh, okay, like I forgot about him, but I kind of relate to him. Like Scotty 2 Hotty. Like I always loved Scotty 2 Hotty, but I forgot like how much he really was involved with like Rikishi and Kane, and I who would have seen Rikishi and Kane be in a tag team?
Bit of a mismatch.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just and with Vince too, it's so weird to see like how it is like now, and it's just like the same man that came up with this stuff is the same man that is like trying to like ruin everything now, and that like is like made a 180 on what he likes.
It's just also a representation of different times as well. Obviously, like I mean,
Yeah.
we're looking here, like we are effectively watching a team of pimps against a team of policemen right now. So
We really are.
I mean, you know, we've got the whole train round at ringside as well. Like, I mean, you know, you wouldn't see this in 2023. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
definitely not.
No, I mean, I think.
Well, I mean, I think it's also when it comes to the Vince thing, right? It's like either he believed so much more in the talent he had back then, like he had more faith in all of them to kind of get over and get popular.
Yeah, that's
Plus,
a
on
good
top
point.
of that, the money talks at this time, right? They're making so much money at this time that he's like, if it works, we're gonna put it out there. Now it's like I think he's more cautious because the money's different the way they make it, and the ratings aren't as important as they used to be. I think it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit different with the landscape how things are now.
Yeah,
Absolutely. The war isn't on either now. I mean, at this point, obviously WCW's in free fall, really.
Yes, yeah.
But at the same time, ECW as well wasn't. But those were there, and it was like it was still the job needed to be finished. So at that point, if it was hot, they made sure it was out there. And I think that once that finished, that's when the laziness, if you want to call it that, started to kick in over the next number of years. And that's when I think there was still some really good times, and there has been all the through the ups and downs. But you could argue in the sort of like last 5, 6, 7 years that laziness has really crept in, and it's not anywhere near the same product to what you'd see there, and that's probably why we struggled to see like the same like now, like you said, there's where you can relate to every member of the card, and you would be excited everyone had their place and everyone was over in a different way. When's the last time you've seen the opening act come out and get the big monster pop as if they're like the main eventer? Like that just doesn't happen now.
No, it does not. I feel like the last time it happened was Daniel Bryan, and that was 9 years ago now. With like,
yeah, it didn't matter where he was on the card.
No, and that's the thing. Like you looking up even up and down like this card, like the fact that Kane's in like a tag team match, and like you guys said, like it's not like the best WrestleMania, but nothing could be worse. Like, I feel like the worst WrestleMania out of all the ones we're watching on this series is 27. I feel like 27 was awful. The one with like I feel like the biggest thing about that, all they did was try to hype up The Rock and Cena for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
because and it was just like I remember watching that too, and I was just like, this is just boring. And there's just like, what?
Yeah, to think like Nexus had like taken over like the entire summer and winter, and then they like break away and it's like the core members lose like.
I've seen that Royal Rumble so many times that the core comes out and they beat up CM Punk, and then they beat up Daniel Bryan, and then Justin Gabriel comes out, and just like, what are we doing here? Like everything could have worked so much better if they just did it a certain way.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, it was just bad news.
Yeah. I see what you did. Funny as hell. Timestamp, my bad, Jordan. The timestamp is 11 minutes exactly. I wish there was a way to like put it on there so like I could have the ticker and go on there, but I figure out new things on the StreamYard while I'm messing with it, and I'm just like, oh, would have been so helpful if I knew this.
It's something I've actually wondered for a long time with how to get like a actual. You see that the apps with the numbers coming up, it looks so cool, but it's something I don't know with the StreamYard. No, not a clue.
No.
Yeah, I think those have to be like separate screens overlays that you put on top.
Oh,
I think that's what it is. Like you have to actually physically create the overlay and size it correctly, and then you add it to StreamYard, and then it like kind of just overlays over the face cams.
Oh. I didn't know that. I need to find like a professional editor or something like that and show me how to do these things.
Well, if you go on Fiverr, you can probably find people that do StreamYard specifically, and they add that stuff to it. Yeah. I did that with mine. Like I had somebody on Fiverr make me like a whole overlay for the face cams. So
okay,
nice.
This match is not for the hardcore title. Just as it said the hardcore title, I was like, wait, this is not for the hardcore title.
I mean, the Bossman's, I think, a bit tamer at this point, how he was at the end of 1999. Of course, the Kennel from Hell stuff of Al Snow and Big Show's father.
Al Snow is got to be like, the stuff that he did with the head and the just like, man, he was one of those guys that I don't know. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry, I interrupted you. My bad.
No, just they were a couple of the worst storylines I think I've ever seen in wrestling. I know WCW 2000 gets a bad rap, but I mean, goodness, the stuff the Bossman was given at that point, like the guy I think is probably tamed down at this point now. He's got to team with Buchanan, but even at that WrestleMania the year before, was a Hell in a Cell match with the Undertaker, and at the end of it, he's hanging, like literally being hung in the ring once the cell goes up. It's like again, things you wouldn't see today, guys and girls.
That's what. Oh my God! Like, gee, Lee, they don't they don't understand. Like, the stuff that they be wilding. Like this, I was watching one like from Raw, and I put it on Twitter. What the Japanese guys, Funaki and his buddy came out, and this guy was like, "Andrew Christian, you're out there doing like sex." I'm like, "What are we saying? What is going on?" Like this stuff that these like. Maybe that's why we're all messed up. Is because we were watching this back in the day.
Absolutely.
We're trying to protect the kids.
No, but yeah, like Steve was saying, compared to like the year before, this guy's getting hanged. Then he had the stuff with Big Show, the casket when he's dragging the Big Show's dad's casket through the cemetery. I mean, it's nuts, man. The stuff they were doing back then.
And that was what? That was 15?
15.
Yeah,
15 was hanging.
Yeah, all through 99. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think actually weirdly enough, I think 99, when you go back and look at it now, for me, I actually don't think it's as anywhere as near as good as what I thought it was back then.
Do you ever do that with pay-per-views now? I do that all the time. I'm like, there's like pay-per-views I think that are good, and then I go back and I'm like, this just wasn't that good. Or sometimes it's the other way. I think they're bad, and I rewatch them and they're good.
Yeah, it happens from time to time. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but if anyone's hoping I say ECW December to Dismember, that's not one I'm going to come out and say. That's definitely not better second time round.
I mean, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I think it was a good idea. I think they just could, like, they could have done it way better. How poor Jonesy says, how poor Tazz goes from being a fantastic ECW world champion to the hardcore title.
I was so
imagine he debuts at Royal Rumble 2000, right?
Yeah.
He debuts, takes out Kurt Angle's undefeated at the time, and then at this pay-per-view, so only a couple months later, he's in this scramble for the hardcore title.
And then just like that guy's Bull and Bossman pick up the W.
Wait, hold up, the scramble's at this one, right? The scramble for the hardcore title is at this one, right?
Yeah, it's the next match, yeah.
It's the next match, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But they have the Meat Street Posse and everybody else in there, yeah.
Man, the stuff and it's so funny because Crash Holly was like one of the best like hardcore titles holders, and it's like I don't like the hardcore title was like I don't know, it really made me mad when they tried to do the 24/7 title because I really enjoyed the hardcore title growing up. And then
you're trying to play off the whole hardcore title kind of like setup, but it didn't work out. They didn't go far enough with it, I don't think.
No, not at all.
See Stephen Trips in the back.
Man,
champs.
They didn't care at all. They didn't like. They just. Man, they were. Like he walked. Like I feel like Triple H was running the show back then. Now he is now. Like Vince wasn't even there. He was making matches. Like X-Pac, you're gonna do this. Road Dogg, you're doing this. And then we got Jerry. Man, I feel like the best announced team that has ever been. Like together.
Absolutely. Grew up with these two like that. Is just, I mean, by God, everything, Stone Cold. Jerry Lawler, of course, again, Jerry Lawler wouldn't get away with half what if he doesn't get away with
Jerry Lawler was wild.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jonesy, that's a good point. They should book Liv like Crash Holly.
I'd be down for that.
That's interesting. I mean, she kind of is in a way because she is like kind of crazy, but I mean, she's
speaking of Crash, right there he is.
Yeah, got the scales out.
I was looking at this. I did not know that he died when he did. I thought he was still alive. No, I didn't realize that like he was like how long ago. I was like, oh my God, because
it's such a shame.
Who's that? What's that referee's name? Isn't he the one that was in the Hell in the Cell with Taker that got like destroyed?
Yeah, Tim White.
Tim White.
Tim White. There we go.
There we are. Here comes Tazz to the ring now.
Tazz. He's so good. Like I always like listen to like you guys these songs. Some of these songs like I listen to them. I'm like, and then I like think about like wait like I remember like watching a Raw when he came out like Some of these songs bring back some like weird memories I didn't think I would remember.
It's funny that Jonesy mentioned Tazz. Though I was a big Tazz fan when he was in ECW. Remember some great feuds he had with the likes of like Bam Bam Bigelow, Tajiri. I know that he had like the Mike Awesome and Tanaka triple threat match, or the three-way dance as they called it before he left. But he did some great stuff over there. I was so hyped when he came into WWE. Did that big win, like Anthony said a minute ago, over Kurt Angle, and then obviously just a fall from grace after that. It's just a shame. It's like what could have been, but hey, at least he got to face Triple H on a random SmackDown at some point in 2000. That was a fun time.
I mean, it just like they just need to like. I feel like if they would just let people get over, like kind of like how like Sammy did and stuff, we just like the natural of people getting over is so much better than like just forcing it and just like the things that would just, I don't know, man. Sometimes it just makes me angry talking about it. I'm just like
the Mean Street Posse there, all inspired by Chandler Bing with those sweater vests.
Oh, they were rocking it back then.
Absolutely.
Pete Gas.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Like the hardcore title on Pete Gas, like I always think like then I think back to Vengeance Day 2001, the Undertaker versus RVD, probably one of the best hardcore matches of all time. And you sit and think RVD made that title so relevant at that point that the Undertaker chased the title that Pete Gas won. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's mental. Like when you think about that.
Yeah. Oh, these guys. That's what these are the guys I was talking about. Who's the dude? Hide and tie.
Yeah, Taka Michinoku and Funaki.
There we go.
Yeah, Funaki with the indie.
Yeah, good times.
Jonesy, who is the best person in the Mean Street Posse? Jonesy wants.
It's got to be Pete Gas.
Oh, that's absolutely.
Got the best name, Pete Gas.
What are the headbangers wearing? What are we doing? Like this stuff is just like ridiculous. Like, okay then, sure.
Poor Mosh. That's when you knew that his gimmick Chaz wasn't working. We'll put you back like that. APA.
Oh, Bradshaw. APA. The accolades. Or was this before that? Were they the APA yet, or were they just?
No, not yet. They're just
not yet. Then
accolades. Okay.
By next WrestleMania, they were APA.
Okay, that. Yeah. Because I think they're in like a tag team match with somebody, if I remember. I don't know. Putting these thumbnails up, we're trying to find like some like especially the older ones because they didn't start making the match cards till like 2008. Just trying to figure it out. Why does this guy carry around a
scale?
Yeah, I was trying to figure it out. I was trying to find the part where he explained it. Why is this man carrying around a? Is he trying to like weigh himself?
So basically, when he debuted, him and Hardcore Holly, they were teaming, and they were saying that they were super heavyweights, and if anyone wanted to face them, that's what they had to be.
Okay.
So anyone that wanted to face Crash Holly, they had to be like a certain weight or a certain size. They had to go on the scales. Like, you're not good. You're not sort of a heavyweight enough to face me in the ring. So,
oh god. I remember that now. Yeah, that's true.
That's okay. Yeah, I was trying because, like I said, I was trying to go back and watch like the bid part, so I knew what was going on, and then there was just some things like I kind of missed, and maybe I should have been doing this like a couple months ago and not like weeks before it started. I need to get into like WrestleMania season though. Like I get like bored like watching matches. Like if it's like WrestleMania and it's like October, if we're getting ready for like Survivor Series, I'd rather watch Survivor Series because they're talking about it.
Yeah, same. I mean, the thing is, I'll do like my I like doing like retro watches and going through like the library of like what I want to do is at that period. So at the moment, like for me, it's like early SmackDown days because of the fact that we didn't get it in the UK till like I think the start of 2000. So everything in '99, we had to sort of catch up with what happened on Raw or Sunday Night Heat. That was our way of finding out things. So, but big Viscera getting a pin there.
Big Viscera is the new hardcore champion. They got, if you guys have not seen this, if you guys are just watching this for the first time, it's a 15-minute time limit. So it's kind of like the match that they did. What was it? They just did it on NXT.
Championship Scramble.
Yeah. And also there was the Iron Survivor Challenge.
Yes, that was the
Iron Survivor Challenge. There we go.
Yeah. Instead of getting the most falls, though, it's to get the last fall that matters.
Is it the last fall in this one, or is it the most?
Yeah. So like when the time runs out, whoever has the championship at that time is.
That's right. Okay. Yeah. Man. I feel like I should have done more research. I thought I did enough. I was like, damn, okay. Well, that's okay. Wait till we start getting like the early 2000s. Some of the stories I have are so entertaining. Like, oh,
So, I mean, as this is kind of like your modern day, like jobber, like battle royal that you'd probably get on SmackDown in a modern day.
literally, just no weapons.
Yeah,
Just
no
be a
weapons
bunch of people
involved,
running
yeah.
around in circles.
And no
But
blood
the
either.
weapons is what made this like more like this is why we would rather this is why we wanted to watch it, because it was just like a bunch of guys going out there beating the hell out of each other. And the fact that like APA and the accolades are like in this match, it's like, yeah, they're in it, but it's like they're still like there's a lot of people in here that like are like known now, you know what I mean? Like Faarooqvs, Viscera, and
I mean, you
like,
have Tazz, you
Tazz.
got the both Hollies, right? Because they're both popular.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? Remember Hardcore's run against Brock when he was trying to go for the title? I mean,
Yeah.
You know, at one
Where
point,
was that?
he,
Was that-
you know, he was technically a main eventer at one point, but you know, I mean,
that
you
was
remember
2002, wasn't it, when he first started, Brock?
Brock did, yeah.
Yeah. So it was like towards the end of his run, I think.
So would it be 2004 Rumble? Would it be?
Yeah. I think around that time, baby. I think maybe because remember he broke his neck, right?
Yeah.
And then he came back from that, and that's what the whole story was built around, Brock and Hardcore Holly. And then maybe around that time, because 2004 was Benoit's year, and I think maybe because maybe earlier, because remember he wasn't champion going into that. It's a WrestleMania 20, which was 2004, so it could have been 2003 or something like that.
True story. Question for you guys then. As I said, this is kind of like the jobber match, if you will, for this time period in history. Name some of your favorite jobbers in wrestling.
Oh gosh, there's a lot of them. I feel like.
I always like the Brooklyn Brawler. Growing up, like every time you get like a main event of superstars, it was like the Brooklyn Brawler would be standing there, like, and he would be like the main jobber of everybody. Like, you'd have all these no names all the way.
Yeah, Barry Horowitz too, you know.
Yeah, and he was on Impact just this past week. He was on Impact Wrestling. That's hilarious to see.
Does Ellsworth started as a jobber, and then he got
does James count?
He's probably one of the more famous ones too. He actually got a run out of it.
Ellsworth. It's crazy to think how long that even was ago. Like the James Ellsworth and everything, and how long he's been gone. And like,
it's hard to believe how long he was there. That's more like for me. That's even more crazier is how long he was actually there, like contracted.
He's
I mean, if you go to the just like the library of like WCW random jobbers like on Instagram, I mean the names that pop out are nuts. There's Randy Hogan. That's another guy who looked kind of like Hulk Hogan, but his name was Randy. He was
Gilbert is the best.
Gilbert was brilliant. Gilbert was great. Oh, who was the other guy that was the Ultimate Warrior back in the day? Like the gimmick for that was I believe it began with R. It's not Rampage or anything like that. I can't remember his name.
The Renegade.
Renegade, that's the one.
Yeah, he was like WWE's. He was WWE's version of the Warrior.
Yeah.
There's.
This is like the end of the Headbangers run in WWF.
Yeah,
2000. Yeah, because like they I even forgot that they were there around this time. I mean, I've seen this WrestleMania probably like a handful of times. Because before the good old days of the WWE Network and Peacock, they used to sell the box sets of all the WrestleManias in one package. Like I remember, I got the one that was the 20 years of WrestleMania, so 1 to 20, the box set, and used to go, over and over watching the same ones over and over again.
Those DVDs, it's like it's some like on some of those home videos. I think there's some like things that like people don't realize that are on there that aren't on Peacock and like WWE Network because even. They do, and it's so funny because they did that for the COVID WrestleMania. I was watching the Royal Rumble season, and Drew McIntyre pointed at the sign, and it was the COVID. I'm like, what happened to the one that was in Tampa when it was live? I was like, that's so funny that they cut it out. I was just like,
no, and then on top of that, you get the original audio, like the original entrance music. A lot of times they have copyright issues, so on the networks they change it out. Like I forget who. There's a couple guys that like the American Badass when he comes out to the Limp Bizkit song, they cut that out on the network. I think a lot of times, or the Kid Rock song, I think they cut that out a lot. But
but we got to listen to Kid Rock in 2009 when he performed all the songs at 25 with the Women's Battle Royal.
Yeah,
that was
one of the highlights of that WrestleMania.
It was Santina.
Oof,
man,
Taka just took one hell of a power bomb there.
Like, how did these guys? The Viscera was like, who do you feel like we would compare like Viscera to like now? Like, who would be this like the modern Viscera right now? Or is there one?
Is there really anybody? That's
I
because like
say.
I mean,
Maybe
I
like a
feel like
Shane
he's like
Taylor.
one of a kind. Like that, there's like
Shane Taylor from Ring of Honor, perhaps maybe would be your closest bet. You know, a big dude that you'd sort of think this guy can't move at this size, but Shane Taylor can sort of surprise and do some big aerial moves and is very powerful as well. So maybe it's probably closest one I can think of.
I mean, if you watch it like his Mabel work, right? Like when he, when he was Mabel, I mean, the guy can move. I mean, as Viscera, it wasn't as much, but when he was Mabel, he can move around.
Yeah,
yeah.
The Big Daddy V is like the was it Big Daddy V?
Yeah, Big Daddy V. Yeah,
Daddy wanted. Because I remember reading an interview that he said that it was like his worst time. That he just like he hated it. That he just was like very unhappy that he did it before. Obviously, everything that happened. It's so sad too. I hate watching these and like thinking about all the people that are like not here anymore. It's like,
yeah, it's always a bit strange.
Roster,
yeah, it is. It's just like holy crap. That's how some of them like have not changed. Like there's just like you don't age in 20 years. Okay. Now they're just beating the hell out of each other in the backstage.
Yeah. We're getting some
I don't even know. I lost track of who the champion was.
Right now, let's get a pin here.
Joey Abs
Joey Abs, yeah, right.
There you go. Joey just got the win.
I don't know. Joey Abs from this angle kind of looks like a Madcap Moss. Kind of reminds me of him.
Yeah. Yeah, he does, especially with like the way how he first started coming out. Bronson Reed Jones, he says. That's a good point.
Bronson Reed, yeah. I mean, he's not as big as Viscera, but he's a big guy. Yeah.
I can see the comparisons though there. I like that.
What's up, Eric? Thanks for coming hanging out. Thank you guys all for coming hang out. Trying to keep track of the chat as much as possible. I know I'm slacking. Sorry, guys. Everybody's yelling at me in the chat.
Pete Gas got the crimson mask.
Our favorite member of the Mean Street Posse, everybody.
Yes, sir. Everybody remember that one. Bookmark that. Pete Gas, the best member of
Gas.
I think make some chapters, Tina. That's got to be that for the thumbnail of that one. Just Pete Gas. Just a whole chapter Pete Gas.
There we go.
It's just WrestleMania 2000. Pete Gas. That's it. He's forefront on WrestleMania.
Becomes hardcore champion with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left to go.
Oh, the blood everywhere.
It is.
He just said, "I'm just gonna hit you in the back of the head for no reason." Like, I don't even remember. See, and that's the thing. Like, I don't even remember who, like, because I was trying to watch it because I don't want to know like who wins. Like all of them. The only one I really remember is the Fatal 4-Way. Because I wanted to try to be like surprised, but like now, like I kind of remember, but I kind of don't like who wins. Do you guys remember who won?
I'm fairly sure of this one, just purely because of what leads to after the show. So yeah, I do know with this one, but not every match do I know.
No, Tazz is now the champion. We got 440 left.
Is it too late in 2023 to have like a push Tazz movement going on?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, he's another company now, so you really can't, right? They'll just take you off. They'll remove you from the feed if you ever bring that sign.
Yeah,
to a WWE event.
You're not allowed. I when I went with the Hell in the Cell, I was even surprised that they allowed me to bring my Cody Rhodes sign. Like they didn't even say anything. I thought I was gonna have to like show them. I didn't know like how the sign thing worked. I was just like,
it depends. I think sometimes they'll take it away, like if there's a certain thing, but if you reference any bring a sign referencing any Vince McMahon thing, allegation that he's had against them, they probably take the sign away.
Somebody asked Triple H about that last night, and I'm like, damn, and he didn't look too happy, and he's like, I don't think he was ready for that conversation or that question. And
interesting question. What do you guys think about those press conferences? Because they're really pulling back the curtain right there, guys. They're talking about creative. They're talking about storylines. You know what I mean? Like the way they reference things is like really yeah, this isn't real. It's all pre-planned type thing.
I mean, I definitely enjoy it. I think it's definitely something different than what they usually have done, where it's something to go out there. And I kind of like that. I like seeing the guys out there like that, where it's knowing they're actually people and they know, like, you know, like, because Sammy was kind of talking about it, like it was just a story last night, and it was just like, you know, sometimes it is, and that's where it's like, I definitely like them. I just wish they weren't like at like 10:30 at night, you know. But like, I understand why they got to do it like that. So
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm a fan of it. I think a lot of people these days seem to have as much interest behind the curtain as in front of it anyway. So I think that as there's the dirt sheets that will report stuff that will be true or false anyway, it might as well come from them. So you kind of have that answer to some of the questions that you may have or want. But of course, yeah, there needs to be like an area where you draw the line. Perhaps maybe like, obviously, I haven't seen the press conference from last night yet, so I can't really comment on that. But the idea of questions like that are being asked, then perhaps there needs to be a bit of I don't know, filtration before going in the room of what they should and shouldn't do. But yeah, I mean, for me, I'm okay with it, but I do see where there could be the ups and downs from it. I mean, you see with the Undertaker Tazz clip that was going around on social media, and Taker was saying something along the lines of like, "That's the problem, like with today, like because everyone sees different people behind the scenes, like on Instagram and different places like that, takes you away from the product itself, and that's why you'll never believe a lot of these characters that you see on TV, and while they'll never get to that, you know, that status of where." You know, some of the stars perhaps from his era were, in his opinion.
No, that's definitely true. That's true, because it's like you're just seeing them from so many different angles and viewpoints that it feels like you're looking at you're watching one person but seeing another at times. So I was watching the press conference, and it was kind of like one of those things where like, yeah, it's cool because I'm into the behind the scenes stuff, but also I'm like, damn, you guys are really, you know, really not even trying to hide it anymore, you know? And it's just like kayfabe is completely gone, and you guys are just talking about it as, because it happens post event, which I think bothers me a little bit. You're hearing Sami Zayn talk about the bloodline storyline, like he said it literally, like the storyline with the bloodline, everything like that, and how Roman Reigns' character, everything. It's just, it really takes you, I think, takes you out of it.
yeah, that's a good point. And Jonesy said, "What about if they do it like UFC and everything?" And that's a good point. What if they did it before the show,
Yes.
like when they did, like with Roman and Logan came out on the camel or whatever that was. I feel like once like before the show would be good, but I feel like they could do something like a press conference, but they don't have to do it. Yeah, because like you said, like it just. And it's like for people that maybe haven't been watching it, they're going to be confused. They'll be like, wait, you just went out there and beat the crap out of Sami Zayn, but now you're talking about him as a character, and you guys, you know, so it's like,
Yeah, I mean, you know, that stuff is, I think it's stuff, that stuff is better left behind the curtain. That people actually have to physically go on the internet and see that and read about it, because I think that creates more intrigue. But no, the
Crash is
fact
the
that
new
you're throwing that thing
champion
out
with
there.
20 seconds left. We'll get back after the top. Just Tazz tap his ass out.
No.
Everybody's bleeding.
I think he survives it.
Does he? I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Does he? Oh. Hardcore champion. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
And Hardcore Holly is your new WWF Hardcore champion.
Talk about the timing on it, though, right? They lined it up perfectly. Like,
Man,
he got the pinfall at 1.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that too. You notice how like they always do these the same way. Like it's always like they're either tied in the Iron Man match, and then they go to like the next fall, or they're like it's like 1 second left and they're counting to 2. Like I've noticed like there's always like a sequence with these. That's what I'm worried about with I know it's not the other company, but AEW at Revolution. It's gonna be an hour of them fighting. It's gonna be like 2-2. And we have to stay another 15 for another match.
Well, those are the problem with those matches, right? It's like when you have like 2 out of 3 falls matches, you have that issue too. Is like the first 2 falls matter nothing, because you're always gonna get it to that third fall. So that's why like you have those things like where Iron Man matches, the falls in between don't matter. It all matters at the end of it. So
unless you're Carmelo Hayes and Apollo Crews, that rare occasion that it will.
Yes.
I was just about to say
very rare occasions.
Steve, speaking about Al Snow, we got the next match. It's Albert and Test with Trish Stratus, T and A, versus the Head Cheese, Al Snow and Steve Blackman.
What does everybody need? Yeah. Oh dear.
God. Head cheese. This
cheese, yeah. Remember that. Takes you back, doesn't it?
These guys. They need to give me more characters on the vote for YouTube.
Yeah, imagine for voting on that match if you went through every name, that would be hard to vote for it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I didn't
it
even put a vote up for that. I just left it. I just was
would be
like,
way too difficult.
Yeah.
last night, I had to put 2 people in one section because it only gives me 4.
Yeah.
You see the promo, the commercial they're showing now is the fan access. I was telling you about in the beginning. You asked me that question. It was like the first year they did fan access.
Yeah.
For
Oh, it's
WrestleMania.
okay.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. We watched this, like, me, my cousin, and our brother watched it for like 12 hours, just the whole fan access thing leading up to the WrestleMania.
Amazing.
It's just so like the stuff that they did. Like, I know, like, obviously because of COVID and everything, like, it's gonna be like different and everything, but like just like all of these things were so cool. Like, and it just like even like with like, because like I used to go to like the White Sox when they have the same thing, like where you go meet the players and everything, and they stopped doing it and they're probably not going to do it anymore. And it's just like stuff like this is like extra little things that like really make like something like that weekend or that week like really exciting. Like, because like you go into WrestleMania, I feel like you got to do all of it.
I agree. I mean, the thing is, for me, like, it is a dream to go to a WrestleMania one year, but as much as it is to go to Mania, actually, the big part is to go to like an access. Like, that's for me is like almost as big a part of it, because it's like, you know, you get that sort of moment as a wrestling fan for far too many years. I won't say how many, but you know, you get that point to just geek out. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally, like you see everyone get it with like their comic cons and stuff like that. This is our time for that, and it's like that for me is almost as special as going to the show itself. So yeah, for me that'd be a big deal.
And it's just something. It's one of those things that like for these people, like they probably still remember it to this day, like 23 years later. Like Big Show signing that like autograph. Like when I met the Hardy Boys in like April last year. Like even if something were to happen, like I always have that memory. Like to like the item that I got like signed, I always remember like even having that little conversation with Matt. And it's all about like that.
That's awesome.
Man, it just. Shawn Michaels. But Shawn Michaels is it makes me so sad seeing how he was back then and how he looks now. Like it just like I don't know. Like I feel like something happened because he's not all the way there, I don't think now.
I mean, still from an era where chair shots and stuff were done completely different to now as well. And
I know. That's the other thing. Some of these shots that they take, I have to look away while I'm watching. I'm like, damn, like ow. Michael Cole with like the little streaks in his hair. Michael Cole's really done well.
I'd have loved to have done that. The commentary along with like Michael Cole, like there with the Royal Rumble, that would have been so awesome to be a part of.
Oh my god!
I went to fan access one time for the WrestleMania in Miami, The Rock versus Cena.
Wow!
Oh,
I went to that fan access and the WrestleMania. I mean, it's cool. You can see a couple matches here and there inside the fan access. They have all the cool memorabilia and stuff like that. They had a WWE 2K, whatever year that was, tournament with Mark Henry was there. He was part of the tournament, him and his son. I mean, it's not bad, but the lines are so long for autographs. It's like ridiculous.
Oh, I bet.
They're like so ridiculously long.
Yeah. Did you meet anybody?
No, because the lines are so long, and then the people. It depends on what day you go, because there's different superstars there at certain times, different days, and some of them are just only VIP. The best ones are like all VIP. You have to, buy those tickets separately, just to get the signature from that one person, stuff like that. So
that's how they do it with Sox Fest. Like when I went, I buy an MVP pass, so I got like a pass where I can meet like Jose Abreu, and I would be able to cut in line. But then I would have to get a wristband for somebody else, and then if I would have to, it was just like there was like you would only be able to meet like 3 guys a day, and then you're just sitting in line, and it's like that's fun and getting the autograph, but it's like there's other things you want to do besides just get the autographs.
Yeah,
and it's just like, and then of course there's the people that are trying to get the bats, and then they're trying to get their son to get a bat, and they're trying to sell a bat as soon as they get it signed, and then I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like. The outside WrestleManias were also always my favorites. I don't know why. The ones that like were like during the day that just like.
Unless it's WrestleMania 9.
Unless it's WrestleMania 9.
Is that the one in the? Is that the one with
Caesar's Palace, the Roman version? Yeah.
Oh yeah. There we go. The Roman. Okay, that's what that is.
That was one of our retro reviews. Steve knows that one well.
Yeah. Visually, it's awesome.
No.
Visually.
Yes.
But, yeah.
Match wise, not so great.
Substance, is not there.
Oh,
then the ending, I mean, it's just like,
yeah.
Man, poor Steve Blackman.
The thing is, you got to give credit to Steve Blackman, right? Because when he first shows up in WWF, it's all just, him doing the nunchucks and the sticks and all that martial arts stuff. And it really wasn't getting anywhere. And the fact that he was willing and able to do this with Al Snow and really get over in the comedy side of things, pretty much saved his run in WWF. Because if he wouldn't have done that, he probably would have been out the door way earlier.
Yeah. Oh, baby. Fucking Jerry Lawler. He's so funny. Here comes T&A. I didn't catch it for a minute until I said it a few times. I was like, wait, I was like, I got it now. I was like, duh. Some things go way over my head. Like,
I'm pretty sure this is where the Jeff Jarrett got the idea for TNA. It's from this specific tag team, specific trio.
It puts the pop the pop that Sammy got last night was insane. That was crazy. Like,
that was special. Yeah, you could only think of so many like shows where that's happened. Yeah, Money in the Bank 2011, CM Punk, Cena, ECW Arena 2006 for One Night Stand, RVD, Cena again. Funnily enough,
I remember that one so vividly, and I remember like being just like, it was just like, wow, like these crowd, they were like savage, like they just didn't care.
I mean, like, it was because it's the crowd pop, but it's also the length of it, right? Because it was just nonstop for like 5 minutes, right? It's like when at the time, Tino brought it up when Roman beat Undertaker at WrestleMania the night after, right? That the booing that they gave Roman when he came out, he didn't even say a word.
Yeah.
He stood there for a handful of minutes and he didn't say nothing.
Yeah, why is there's a cheese coming?
Chester McCheeserton.
I like how they cut out the butt part for like what? Why? I don't know why they put a cutout back there.
For what reason? Like nobody wants to see that.
Why would they put the cutout back there?
Chester. Jonesy also says Drew and Cardiff. Yeah, that was
would totally agree. Too. Cardiff, Clash of the Castle. I mean,
that's a pay-per-view that we're gonna remember for like a long time.
Yeah.
But Steve, you were there live, right?
No, I wasn't. No,
you weren't.
I
think
was it Jonesy and Steve or
NX Steve? Yeah, he was there.
Steve.
Yeah. Well, I would. So the question goes out to Jonesy. I don't think I ever asked him. Have you watched it back afterwards? Because when you see something live, it's a lot better than when you see it like afterwards. On the replay. And I always go back when I go to an event. I have so much fun that when I go watch it, the replay, it's not as good, right? Like, that event wasn't that good. I wonder how he feels about the Cardiff event because he was there live. Is one way of watching it. Has he gone back and watched it? And what does he think about it after he watched it the second time?
That's a very good point because it like I don't think people like with like people that like love wrestling, like I feel like it's easier for them, but like people that like maybe don't watch it as much, I feel like it is very hard for them. And you're actually like I did that with the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, and like I had to go back and rewatch because I waited a couple days because I didn't want to go watch it like that night. I waited until the Monday I got home. I rewatched it and it was good. But I thought it was way better than it actually was.
Yeah,
I was like, this was okay, but like, why was I was like jumping up and down? And there was a couple times like during the Cody match, they had the poster because I made my cousin hold it up like the whole time, and I'm sitting there like all excited, and I'm like, wait, this like some of like the Lashley and Omos, I think it was like a handicap match or something. I was like, why did I like this match? It wasn't good, but like.
Yeah, everything live is better.
It's the atmosphere, I think it's just the people around you, and it's like knowing that everybody likes the same thing that you are. And yes, there's definitely those fans. Like I had somebody be like, "Don't talk to me." Like I like this guy. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. Like I won't talk to you. Like I get it, but like and you find somebody like talkative and like that like you could have a good conversation with. It just makes it so much more fun, especially like because I don't think a lot of people realize how many wrestling fans there are like that really out there that like it.
Even that buzz standing outside like the arena when you're waiting to get in, there's just that feeling in the line. It's just like that's a great energy that you feel there. It's yeah.
Until we all try to push each other through to get to our seats, we're like, let's
go. That's a whole other thing. Yeah.
Oh God. And then everybody's trying to go to the line to get in line to be the first to get the t-shirt, so then they can get to their seat, and then I gotta wait in the long ass line for the t-shirts. Just like
just simply get the t-shirt that says I was here.
Yeah, my cousin tried to give me. I'm like, dude, I'm not waiting a 45-minute line to get you a T-shirt that says Hell in the Cell on it. They'll probably wear it once, and then you'll never wear it again.
No, and then at the price they're at too.
Oh my God, it was like, what do we do? Like,
because I went to full gear because it was here in Jersey, and the prices like for their shirts and then the championship belt was like $800. I'm like, who's gonna come here and just drop $800 in that title belt right now? You know what I mean?
And the people that walk
someone
around
will.
with their championships,
Someone
I'm
will,
sorry,
right? Yeah.
but
No,
like,
I've done that once or twice with the championship belts. You see behind
Have
me,
you?
right?
Yeah.
But it's
I was
so
just about to ask.
uncomfortable. It's
Oh, it
so
just-
uncomfortable.
I would be so fearful somebody's gonna take it. I'm gonna
No,
lose
not
it, I'm
even
gonna
that, because there's
leave
so many people
like,
that
I
have
just-
it, but it's just like sitting in the chair and you're there for like 3-4 hours with
Yeah.
that belt. It's like uncomfortable. It's just,
And then you
it's
don't
like
want to ruin it because you're trying, like, you have them
Yeah.
displayed because that's all
And then
I
you're
want to do.
You're like, do I wear it around my waist the whole time, or do I wear it around my shoulder, or do I leave it on my lap? And then it's just like it's uncomfortable either way. It's just, I stopped taking them a while, like years ago. It's just it's no fun.
No.
And I've seen guys that have like, they come with 4 of them. You know, they come with 2 around the waist and 2 around their shoulders. I'm like, dude, how the hell are you comfortable here with with that on?
I mean, they
And then
just,
comes,
they
I
just
need to
trying
go to the
show
bathroom.
off.
Yeah.
That's all they're trying to do.
Sorry to
Show
interrupt.
off. Come on.
But
Oh god. I feel like too, like a lot of times, like we see now with like stuff, like I feel like at like this time Vince was also just trying to get everybody on the card, because when I was watching this, I went back and watched like I said, like after No Way Out, I've been trying to go back and like watch like the last like month before WrestleMania. And I noticed within like the last 2 weeks, he started naming all these like random tag team matches and this match, and Trish came out, and like, what are we doing here? Like, just keep the Fatal 4-Way, and like, because I think there's a total of 10 matches on this card.
yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
The card starts to like bloat, really. Yeah.
Mhm.
Because now at this point, like WrestleMania is like huge money right now. Like, you know, going from post 13, like when they went to Boston in 14, it felt like it really took it to another level. WrestleMania is like they started to get bigger and bigger as every year went on.
Absolutely.
And it's just like more and more people, like, and like with the fan access, like you said, this one was the first one. It just went even further, like even like 2 years later in Hollywood, 3 years later.
No, I'm saying the scope is just between this one and the next one, right? Because the next one's in the Astrodome in Houston. It's just the scope is just huge, right? It's massive, and it feels like it just like WrestleMania just completely changed and went to another level after that.
Because 19's in Seattle, it's in the Mariners
Mariners,
Stadium,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The only
That's
outlier is 20 because that's because they had to do it back in the Garden, right? In MSG, so it's smaller. But after post 19 is just, it gets bigger and bigger for the most part.
Yeah. I feel like when it started getting like huge was 24. Once they did it with the Ric Flair retirement match, they did it at the Citrus Bowl. After that, 25 was in the big one, 26, 27, 28.
Well, what about I know 22 was in, I think that was Ford Field, right?
No,
wasn't that Ford? It was Allstate.
That was Chicago. That was
Chicago.
23 was Ford
Field, right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one. I always remember that was one of my favorites with it was Shawn Michaels and Cena, and then it was Triple H and 23 was Shawn and Cena, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then Batista Taker.
Batista, that's what it was. Okay. And then I always get confused with Triple H and Shawn Michaels facing Cena at like 23 and 22.
Yeah.
I always try to remember with like the because Cena came out and like the gangster stuff, and then CM Punk was on the car and everything. I always try to remember that one being the one with I didn't even know that until like 4 years ago. So somebody pointed out. I was like, oh, it's like, that's cool. I didn't even notice. I had to go back and watch it. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I've seen that. I was like, I remember watching. I'm like, wait a minute. Because then I think a year later was when he started his Money in the Bank run, when he went like, it was like 3 years in a row he competed and won 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, 24 and 25. Yeah.
Oh, Al Snow out here.
Yeah.
Taking bumps.
Yeah, absolutely. Old 3/8 Albert there as well, taking the assigned moonsault.
Which name was it? Was Albert at this time?
Is he still Prince Albert or just Albert?
No, I think it's still Prince. I think it's Prince Albert.
Funny as hell.
Because they're still using all the innuendo on this tag team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
TNA, the Prince Albert, it's all like innuendo they keep using.
Absolutely. Poor Test was going to get married a few months earlier to Stephanie McMahon.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Test was all... do you guys get like the do you guys watch like NXT like a lot or no?
Yeah, watch it weekly. Or
do you think Von Wagner is like a Test type of a character? It could be.
No, I think too. Also, Tess was because he's actually a good-looking guy. Von Wagner isn't the best-looking dude, so I think that might play against him. Because yeah, that's kind of one of the things, right? Like, they put him with Stephanie because he's actually, he's a good-looking guy and all that, so it fits.
I mean,
Von
you're not
Wagner
wrong.
is just not like that great-looking. So it's just one of those things. But I mean, he could be like in terms of his size and the way he they present him on TV. But
it was crazy. I said it last night to think about, like, last night NXT pretty much was in all, like, the chamber, like the men's, every person was from NXT, and I think every woman was from NXT too. And it's just crazy to think about, like, that's where it's like at now. Like, all these people are now coming from NXT.
TNA with the win.
TNA with the win.
Well, that was really the coming out party for Montez Ford as a singles yesterday.
That
was a really good performance by him.
I think he's one of those. He could get over so well and so big that I don't think people understand how big of a superstar he really could be.
That's like one of the sleeper reasons why the chamber is one of their better match types, because it gives the guys opportunity to really show out, like a Montez Ford, like a Bronson Reed, right? Like, you have that as a catalyst for somebody to really break out into a nice singles run post chamber. Because I think it's just a match. I think it's just a match type how it works. That it works in that. I think it works in that favor well.
Well, yeah, and they especially like some of the things like they did last night and some of the things they did, like, it's just like a moment like that for like Montez is something people are going to go back and watch because that's what they want to see, him just climbing like Spider-Man and jumping off of it. And that's like, people are going to be like, wait, Montez Ford can do that? Wait a minute, I need to go back and watch Montez. Not realizing that he's this great in the tag team. He's just with Angela.
And with the way they kind of carried him out, it was a kind of a way to show that he put everything on the line. He was like completely battered and bruised from everything. I think it's a nice way too to kind of get him even more over as a singles.
Yeah, I'm surprised Terri won. I was really hoping he was gonna lose, and I was hoping they were gonna do like a 6-person like ladder match at WrestleMania or something. But I don't know what they're gonna do because I feel like Austin and Cena don't need the title if that's what they're going with. Like, like he during the press conference, he did an open challenge. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he came out and said he is doing an open challenge on Raw tomorrow. And then apparently Edge came out and accepted it. So it's like I just don't understand. Mae Young, I cannot get over Mae Young, guys. I'm done with Mae Young. Like, I just can't. Like, the shit that she did back then was just like not like the whole thing with Mark Henry was just like I've never watched it live, and watching that whole thing like through was like, what are they doing here? Like, this storyline would not get over now. It would not be okay. Oh God.
I'm not sure it's fully over then, to be honest, with the hand.
I was just like, what are we doing here?
Nice to see that the hand was all grown up last year at WrestleMania, though, hitting Sami Zayn in the Johnny Knoxville match.
That's true. Everything comes full circle.
Yeah.
True. Well, before we start this match, I know it's been like an hour. Are you guys still good? I know some of these watch-alongs could be like...
Yeah, I could probably do this match at least. Yeah, definitely.
All right. I just want to make sure, because it is the ladder match with the Hardy Boys.
That's the biggest match, yeah.
So I figured ask you before, because I know sometimes that... Because next year is the TLC, right? It's 18 or 17 that was the TLC match?
That's their TLC match, yeah.
So they have this one, and they have the SummerSlam TLC 1, and then TLC 2 is at WrestleMania 17, yeah.
Okay, the number 1 was that's right, SummerSlam.
Which is one that they don't really show much, but it's still really
good. They don't.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
They show these two, like the two WrestleManias, but they didn't really show that one that much.
Dudley Boys were another... I didn't realize how they were not nice guys. Like, they just went out there and did whatever the hell they pleased and didn't care who they beat the hell out of men, woman, anything.
But he's still the same now.
The tag strips. It'll be then that the Hotties can make Christian realize that thou shalt not. He can't say it. My brother, testify. You think you know me? This man still wrestles. He said 31 years last night. I'm like, this man's literally been around forever. Like, it's just, Edge is just, he's not human, I don't think.
I think he started in WCW, I think, as like a jobber over there before he was brought over to WWE.
That's right, he was. I feel like everybody is like pretty much started out in some type of like a jobber way.
Mm.
Or they're security guards that just get beat up by somebody in the back.
Yeah, that's quite common as well.
Yeah, being extra security is like the main thing.
Yeah. How many people have we seen that has become a security that is like I remember the picture of Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly in that big rivalry they had before they both left, and the whole security team is the whole NXT 2.0 roster. Trick, Vaughn, Braun. I'm like, what? Like, you got to watch everybody now.
MJF did it for Samoa Joe at a takeover.
That's right.
It was Brooklyn. So
that's right.
So, of course, there's the other alternative. Of course, back in 2014, if Adam Rose was about, you could have been a Rosebud.
True.
That is true. Right. Braun Strowman, right?
Braun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them in there. One of the only few matches. I think I've seen this match about like 15 times.
It is a classic. But the thing is, the whole show for me, I've not seen this show for about 15 years, probably.
I'm one of those where I like finding like a few matches like this and the Fatal 4-Ways were the two I always watched, but I've just never watched them all the way through.
The Dudley boys.
Crazy guys. He's just ready. Let's go. Man, and that's the other thing. Like the dedication some of these people had to have like 10 people make one part of a sign and all hold it up at the same time. Like that's like I can't even find 2 people to go to an event with me.
I'd have that trouble as well, Tino. We'll make a sign and we'll go together.
Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready for it. Oh, well. Match.
In fact, we can actually make a sign and say, well, 8 other people help us hold this sign.
Yeah.
That works. Let's do it. I'm ready for it. Kidding. Which arena is this in? Did they say? I forget. It's
Anaheim. So like where the Ducks play, the Mighty Ducks.
The Ducks.
And I'm sorry, the Anaheim Ducks, not the Mighty Ducks. Sorry.
The Mighty Ducks.
I mean, that's what they're based out of, but they're not called the Mighty Ducks.
Great movie though.
Oh, so good.
So back in the day with these 3 teams, which was your favorite at the time?
The Hardys.
I was more Edge and Christian.
I would have been the Hardys then as well, but if you ask me now, like with the 3 teams and the decoration of them, I look at the Dudleys as the greatest tag team of all time.
Yeah, I feel like out of the 3, I feel like they should get a lot more credit than they should, because they did do like there was a lot I think that people don't realize like that they actually like did, and Edge and Christian and the Hardys get a lot more. I think because I feel like if you like went in like a 3 that people really know them, I feel like it goes to Hardys, Edge and Christian, and the Dudleys. And I feel like that's not like, you know what I mean? And it's obviously because everybody remembers what Jeff did every time Jeff decided to get a ladder in his hands. But like, if I remember correctly, I think the Edge and Christian won most of these matches that they competed in.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it's just like I listened to the Matt Hardy podcast too, and he talks about like some of these, and he said he's like we just went out there and we did what we knew and that we could, and that because like there's just like we were talking about, like there's just so much that's different from then to now that they could and could not do.
Yeah.
And these ladders are so small. It's so funny. The ladders that they bring in now are like giant, or like I remember the one Money in the Bank where Big Show had to get his own ladder because his big he kept breaking the other ladder. Just like, why so big? Like, oh my god, you don't need come on.
I think I've just seen a sign that said "Bring back Zeus."
Never bring back. Yep.
Oh, there you go.
I read some of them. I'm just like, what are we?
Oh, RIP though. Tiny Lister's not. Passed away a couple years ago.
Oh, did he really?
That's
yeah.
Wait, who did?
Zeus, the guy who plays Zeus, Tiny Lister, guy from Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's just
That's sad, isn't it?
you can't keep track of everybody like that. Like it's just so sad. Too many people just like way too soon. Just like do you guys watch SVU Law and Order? Do you guys see Munch died today?
I don't
No.
see it. No, I'm afraid.
Yeah, the one of the detectives that was on the show from like the beginning until about like 5 years ago. He was like
that's
one
a
of the main characters.
shame.
It's just
That's
like
a
that. But you wake up and somebody like it's just like come on, like, what are they trying to do to us? Can we just have like a few weeks of like nice news?
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Zeus, one of those guys who showed up both in WCW and WWF.
Huh? Fun fact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He was part of that coalition to destroy Hulkamania in WCW.
Oh my god.
Yeah, wasn't he a part of that 96? I think it was like uncensored match that was like six
Yeah, the
on two
triple
in
cage, and it was like the
Dungeon of Doom, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dungeon of Doom, but they were called like it was just to end Hulkamania. That's all it was, and it was Savage and Hogan versus like all the heels, and Zeus was one of them. Man, what a disaster that was.
Yeah. Well, when
Really?
you've got your main characters, what was it like? Zodiac and what was it? It was an earthquake, like a shark or something.
Shark, yeah,
right?
he was Shark. Yeah, he was Shark. Conan was somebody. I can't remember who Conan's character was, but he was part of that group too. I can't remember who he was. Zodiac was Brutus. He's Bruce Barber.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
Zodiac.
of course.
Brutus Barber.
That's a good retro review, Steve. I'm saying I'm gonna have to bring it back and do that one.
Definitely.
I think retro reviews now it's got to be like the worst stuff we can find that we just retro review those.
They are sometimes though, like I do feel myself that when I'm doing them, it's like, of course, when I'm watching wrestling, I want to watch the best shows possible.
Yes.
But when reviewing them, sometimes it's much more fun to review a bad show because then that gives you an excuse to say, well, what would I do better? Because it's like there's no point just saying it's bad. Like it's like, what can I do to try and improve it? So
Yeah, because
I
you
mean,
can't
that's
improve
why-
something that's great. You're like, yeah, it's great. What am I gonna say, right? Like, what else can you say
Yeah.
about it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I would have made him win like 3 seconds later. Like it's just there's
Yeah.
not really much more you can do, is there?
Yeah.
No. I mean, some of your fantasy booking ideas are very good.
Sorry, Tino.
I said some of the fantasy booking ideas you have are very good.
Oh, thank you, Tim. That's kind of you, the same, my man.
I try, you know. I would say so. Yeah, so I don't. These bumps that they took, it's just like, oh my god, like they crazy. All 6 of these guys went out there and just didn't care what they did.
Absolutely not. Some of these spots are insane. Then we got is it Bubba here now, like with the ladder wrapped around his head?
Oh,
Yep.
that just
As you do,
huh?
as you do. This is a nice, comfortable spot for Bubba.
Well, oh my god, like
If I was going to put something around my neck, I'd put a necklace personally, not a ladder. But that's just me.
yeah, no.
I think it depends on the situation.
I mean, yeah, you don't know. I mean, very true. You don't know what type of situation you're
Yeah,
in.
you never know what kind of situation you're ever gonna be in. You know.
Well, if I'm number 30 in the Rumble match, maybe I'll consider it.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, let's go. If I have to hear somebody else say that Cody entered number 30 and didn't compete in the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna scream. I think I've heard about 100 times since the Royal Rumble, and I just don't want to hear it anymore. Like, okay, he didn't beat 29, he beat 28, he entered 30. We know he's going to WrestleMania. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. We're not changing it. I just
You think Sammy should have won yesterday?
no. I've been saying I think it's leaning to the tag team match with the Usos. The Usos, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. I think that's been the plan since I don't know how long, but it just seems like that's where they're leading. And what better way? If you're telling me that I could win the tag titles with my best friend at WrestleMania to end the longest tag title reign in WWE history, I think that sign me up. Let's go.
I mean, something they want as well. They want to be tag team champions at some point together.
Yeah.
So why not? Oh, there's the spear spot there.
Man, poor Edge. Edge just did so many crazy things that it was just like
Poor Jeff as well. He took it.
Oh my god, poor Jeff. Maybe that's why he's so messed up now. Sadly, I don't know. So many of these though. What was the one where I forget which pay-per-view it was where they did it where he like flew with the money bag that they were fighting for? Was that No Mercy?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one. It was Edge and Christian versus the Hardys for Terri
Yeah.
Reynolds Services and like a bunch
That's
of money.
right. Yeah, Terri Reynolds Services.
The Terri Invitational Tournament.
Yes, that's the one. Oh,
That's That's
Good
okay,
old
yeah,
TIT.
that's yeah.
I mean, the whole Attitude Era is just a bunch of like puns and innuendos, like
It
sexual
really is.
innuendos. That's all it is.
It really is. But I think that's why it was so good back then. I think that's why everybody liked it. Like it was like me rewatching this stuff, like it's not that hard to follow. Like it is, but it's not. Like to like
Yeah.
now, like you'd have to sit down and watch like everything, I feel like, to like kind of understand. Like you definitely could skip a lot of it, but there's gonna be a lot of like that you miss. But like back then there were like these rivalries that we were having, like that they were like they all got their own time, they all got their own right time to show what they had to do, and then the match, most of the matches at least delivered, I feel like, compared to like now where the build's so good and then the match sucks, or the match is good but the build sucks. And it's just like,
Not referring to Lashley and Brock Lesnar.
who, me? No, I'm not referring to that. I was just just saying I don't know what's gonna happen with that now.
No.
Yeah, and the fact that Bray Wyatt threw himself into that, right?
Oh, I know. Are we gonna see a triple threat match? Are we gonna see, or a tag team match? Are we gonna see Uncle Howdy and Bray take on Bobby and Brock? Maybe put them on the same side. I don't know.
That just seems weird, doesn't it?
Should be interesting to see what happens.
That cutter off the ladder was beautiful, by the way, from Bubba. Just getting a replay coming up now.
Oh, okay. I tried to sync it as well. I think my TV's like 5 seconds off because I just saw the replay.
See, I had to do that as well at one point because I was 5 seconds behind.
That's okay. That's okay. I'm always behind. There's times where, like last night, people were like, "Oh, how did you feel?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then I look up and it happened. And I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah. It's funny because like even though you start your stream at the same time, like your video feed for Peacock, everybody starts at the same time. Everybody's off by a couple seconds.
Always.
No matter what.
My mom stood in my because I turned it on in my room one day and I wanted my mom to stand there and like help me to see. And she's like, "Yeah, it's like you're like saying something right there. I can see you say it, but then it's not the same thing for like 5 seconds." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
Like that's lame. So I don't think there's a way for us to change that. I think that's just how it is and how it like works with like YouTube. I don't know. Man. Oh God. Suplex off the ladder. And the selling was so like they just flopped around like they didn't like like he's still flopping around. Oh my God. It's also crazy to think about, like these guys were like 20, like 7, 28, like at this time. Like they were like all in like their mid to late 20s.
Yeah.
Are we doing something wrong? Should we be competing in a ladder match?
Man, I don't know if I want to take that beating. That's pretty rough. The morning after this, woof.
Oh God. I know I was calling it last night the elimination chamber padding cell because they put so much goddamn padding in there now that they don't understand what it feels like. They have all that like back in like the first like 5 that they had.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Chris Jericho saying that elimination chamber was built by somebody who never wrestled before. You know, so because like that first iteration of that chamber was like I heard it was pretty bad, pretty rough on the body.
Absolutely.
Seems like there's newer ones a little more modern, a little bit safer.
Yeah. And it seemed like they were still able to do a lot of things like off of the cage and everything, and like what Montez did and stuff. And
absolutely. So who did it better, Montez Ford or Lince Dorado?
Oh my God, who could forget about the tag team elimination chamber? I feel like Dorado only because he went so far up. Like didn't he go like all the way to like the middle?
Yeah, he went over to the middle.
Yeah.
I mean, Montez got pretty high, but I mean, he got like way higher.
I mean, both are amazing in their own right, but yeah, I think I only remembered Lince Dorado's because he shared it like last night. I think probably straight after Montez Ford did it, but yeah, pretty cool spot.
I love that
Considerado
little bull
quite the
format.
opportunist, huh? On the social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
It's a good way to get some likes.
Absolutely.
I mean,
What do you
hell
mean no
yeah.
one's watching MLW?
I mean, you got to do so. I forgot about the Sasha Banks pay or the New Japan thing that was
Yeah.
on last night too. I was like, why are people still like live? And then I was like, oh, it's like I can't stay up for that. I was like, I know how Steve feels. So I was like, I just can't. I'm like, I'll go to bed. I'm like, and everybody's laid out, getting taken out ladders. And these matches were just so good. I wish the tag team division was like this. It sucks the tag team division isn't like how like it was back then. That was the one like I feel like the tag team division like there's been like I feel like a period of time for like kind of like how like in like baseball like when you like rebuild a team. I feel like there's been like rebuilding periods for like the tag team division, like the main event, the like, and it's like it just like I don't know. I feel like this was like the best time when there was like everything just worked for tag teams, no matter like what it was.
I totally agree. I do think good times are coming though. If you look at like the
Oh yeah,
NXT
no, oh for
division,
sure. It
there's-
just
I
for
mean,
like a long time there, like they just like it was bad,
yeah.
but it is definitely getting better. WWE's lost a lot of trust with me. I feel like they gotta like I got trust issues with them.
It's easily done. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes they can't help themselves to still do
I know.
some messed up stuff. For everything
It's-
we can praise everything that we can, like the Bloodline and Sammy or storylines that we really like, but there is some really dumb ones at the moment as well and
Oh
stuff
my
that's just not
gosh.
working out. I mean,
No.
Bray Wyatt storyline in general for me is just slow and stop. There's nothing going on.
It's dragging. It's like a 3-hour movie kind of thing where you're like,
It's like
Yeah.
you're midway through, like, wow, it's really 3 hours long. We still got a long way to go.
oh my god,
That's
yeah,
what that storyline feels like.
yeah.
Although,
And that's
even
the
that-
thing.
Go on, Sarah. You go, Tina.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it's over that or being at the theatre and it stops. You think, thank God, and you go like, yeah, the second act is coming shortly. Oh,
Yes.
damn it! Oh no!
I think it's even gotten even a little bit like not only is it dragging, it's just really strange, and you don't know how it's gonna play out because now with Uncle Howdy being like a physical presence out there with him, it's gotten even kind of stranger, and then it's like it's dragging heavy.
Mm.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. It's like, where is it going? Are we gonna see it unmasked?
Yes.
Are we seeing these
Yeah.
characters? What are we like? There's just no like. I feel like there's no ending to it right now.
Mm.
And it's so funny. I've seen the ending of this match about 5. Like I said, I've rewatched this match a bunch, and I literally do not remember them, and I do not remember how they put the table and ladders like that.
No. Do you reckon Roman would want to be the head of this table?
No.
Probably not this one. It's
I
probably
don't
not big. I don't think it's big enough for him. This is a mid card table, you know.
Troll. Already survived.
I mean, with the way they set this up too, I think Matt takes a pretty bad fall off of it too, going through the table, and when Edge and Christian win it.
If I remember, yeah, I don't remember.
Yes, they set up another one like in front of it, I think, and then he goes.
Yeah, that's what they're doing right now. These damn Dudleys.
Doesn't Jeff do the big swanton in both matches?
Yeah, he does
right.
one here.
I'm still trying to figure out why he didn't win the Money in the Bank in WrestleMania 23 and why he decided to do a Swanton Bomb on the Edge. Is he just mad because Edge won every ladder match with him, or?
Probably. I mean, that was probably at the time the most insane spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match ever.
Gosh.
That was
I think
that was one of the first times they ever broke the ladder, right? Like, was he jumped off and landed on him, broke the ladder.
Yeah.
Now that's a common thing in all ladder matches. They always break the ladder in half, kind of thing.
Always.
That was one of the first times I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it before that.
I remember that one too, always too, because Ric Flair and Bobby Lashley were in it, and I remember Ric Flair took a couple spots and he got taken out of the match, but he just like laid there, like we knew like Rick was not going to be able to do anything. Like, it was just like, done. It was just like what, like I don't know why Rick was in the Money in the Bank.
It was Flair and Finley were in that one, I think.
Yeah,
and it was just like one of the, like, why the hell are
Finley,
these two guys in this one?
Bobby,
yeah.
Because I think that was the one Kennedy won.
Kennedy
and then
won,
Edge
yeah.
ended up taking it, and then
talk about a talent that never got to fulfill
Yeah.
that potential.
Mr.
Wow,
Kennedy.
he was so over. Yeah, he was.
Oh,
man.
so good.
I even like when he's like starting out in Velocity, I was like, I like this guy. He
Yes,
seems cool.
yeah.
Like there's something about him. Like
He-
Canada. Just brilliant.
And that was like I remember even doing that like a 13-year-old. I just remember just sitting there just being like Mr. Canada, and it just like the fact that like it sucks now. Like now that we're a little bit like at least like when I go back and watch things, it's like why did they give up some of these guys? Give up on some of these
So
guys.
the
and
issue was him was
characters?
that he hurt a couple guys, right? Wasn't it that he hurt like Randy and like Cena or something like that?
I think also I
Yeah.
think he was the one that had the headshot to CB that like caused like I remember hearing something like I think he was the one that hit him in the head, like one of his last matches.
Fair play. I know there was issues with I think with Bob Holly as well. Remember reading online also that led to some sort of suspension as well, if I'm not mistaken. But
because did he ever do anything like big in TNA? I remember him going over there for like a little bit as Mr. What was it, Mr.
Anderson.
Anderson.
He was world champion, I think, 2 or 3 times over there. He was part of the Aces and Eights stable over there, which was quite cool and fun enough with Bubba and Devon as well. Just to relate in there, but
there you go.
Bubba setting up that ladder.
Speaking of that ladder that you were talking about for Jeff, I think Bubba's setting it up right now.
That's your modern ladder.
Yeah, that's there's the big one.
I met Kennedy one time. He has like a presence to him. So that's why it's like such a like feels like a waste, right? You know, he didn't. You know,
massive. And I think he was meant to be Vince's illegitimate son, wasn't he? And then like everything happened, and then he was it was Hornswoggle instead.
And the stuff he did with Undertaker too was very good.
Well, because there was a thing where he on his run he beat like 6 former world champions. That was like the one claim he had was like he's beaten 6 former. So you felt like, and when he won Money in the Bank, he literally said, "I'm cashing this in at the main event of the following WrestleMania." So there was the countdown they had before the Edge took it off.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about that. That was one of the things why I kind of want to go back and like watch the Raw and SmackDowns because I forgot what happened. I can't remember what happened on every Raw and SmackDown for like 20 years off. I forgot, and that's right. I forgot about that. Which I
feel like somebody should do that now, right? But then it kind of negates the Royal Rumble a little bit. But still, you know, it'd be pretty cool to do that. Like, I'm cashing this in. I'm right now because like, what's gonna stop him from cashing it in now at WrestleMania? Like, I'm cashing it in, but it's gonna be at WrestleMania.
True. Exactly. The question is though, is it during the match like Rollins did? Is it the end of the match? When is it going to be? When's the right time to do it?
That's
like,
what I'm saying, but like it'd be cool, but like do it like how Kennedy was gonna do it, and just say like I'm the main event now. Like, okay, you can't stop me from being the main event.
Bam. I mean, to be fair, what a spot. Modern day 2K players will never understand when it's like my GM mode though. Back in 2006, Kennedy was my champion. No one will get that.
So good. I hope that they add something. I'm really excited for the new one to come out in a few weeks, but I really hope that they added a few more things that makes it a lot better than what it was last year. Because there were a lot of things that they missed, like not having the IC and US title and having other matches other than like 4, and it just
because my GM mode was like
do so much back then.
Yeah,
still addictive though. That's the problem.
I know. There's
one of the things I miss too is like I remember the old SmackDown games used to have their career modes rather than it being like a showcase mode. It was an actual career, and it would actually have the like storylines that happened in real life, like wrestling, and be part of that. And you kind of just do like a story mode kind of thing.
Yeah, that was cool, and especially like I think it was like Shut Your Mouth, where like you were like backstage and you would have to walk up to people and you could start the conversations off. And...
It was like open world
kind of open world, kind of like open world,
yeah. And you could choose what you did as well. Like it was like, do you want to like be like the good guy and like just like say like okay whatever, I'll be your tag team partner, or do you want to attack them? Like it's like
I know now it's just you got to change yourself, and it's just like so complicated.
Yeah, and it's like the career mode they have now is like it's all right.
Yeah, it's not the best. They're trying with that John Cena showcase mode. Should be really interesting. I just don't know how well people are going to react to it.
It's interesting that they're going the opposite way. Like you have to do all of his losses. You're the other character rather than actually playing as him, which is a bit of a twist on this. Pretty cool.
And it freshens it up as well. You get to play as different characters because I can imagine. I know like even the biggest Cena fans. So if you've played him like about 20, 30 times in a row, you're going to like I want to mix it up.
That's me.
You know?
That's all I would do. Is my friend would be Michaels and I would be Cena, and we would just face each other all the time.
Yeah, but I think but War Game's gonna be the selling point of that game.
That's
that's what everybody wants to have.
They spent so much money on that like 2K even talked about it on how Oh, that was that the
Yeah,
spot you're talking
yeah,
about?
that's the spot talking. It's a pretty rough one. Looks like
Yeah,
because he lands hard on
and
his
Edge and
butt.
Christian win the inaugural ladder match at WrestleMania. I think this was the
Yeah.
first triple threat ladder match.
Yeah. Because they had the ladder match before, but it was Razor and Shawn at WrestleMania
That's
10.
10. That's right.
Yeah.
And Edge, there you go. Damn, all 4 of them. Also, all 6 of them. I love the people that put the signs when they have their name and they have the arrow. Like I've never like you don't see that like you see it sometimes, but like back then everybody was doing it. Like I know it's obviously because social media is easier now, but like that's crazy to think about. That's what people were doing. They had to make signs. Be like, Mom, look for my sign. You know where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm Bob
Now,
from Illinois.
now if you're on TV, you over a friend, they see it on TV. You're on social media within 5 minutes and blowing up.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. You mentioned that earlier on about watching back shows that you've been at. Do you ever look to see like if like for some reason like maybe the camera just might have accidentally sort of landed on you, just to have that moment like look, I'm on there?
So I actually went back. So I rewatched Hell in the Cell because I wanted to watch it and just watch it without like looking at anything. So I watched the whole show and then I went back and redid it. And I think I found myself like 4 times because I had that giant bright green Cody Rhodes sign. So every time they went to like the right of it, it was like the sign because I made my cousin hold it up like the whole show. I'm like, this is your job. You got the free ticket. You just got to hold up the sign.
Yeah, I saw myself a couple times. I saw myself when I went to WrestleMania in Dallas. The first time I went to Dallas, I saw myself there, but like from far out. And then I went to the Rampage before Full Gear, and Archer and Ricky Starks, they were fighting into the crowd, and I was right next to them. So I saw myself on TV a bunch of times there because the camera caught them going up the stairs as they were brawling. And I almost ate like a right hook from Lance Archer.
He's like, hey now.
Almost, because he got close. He did get close because I was the aisle seat, so he was like right there next to me.
Wow,
and he got pretty close. Yeah.
Oh,
I might go back and rewatch that.
Yeah, that was, you'll see me there. Yeah.
That's and that's so crazy. Even like with Peacock now, like if you're on TV, like you're gonna be there. Like it's not like unless they shut down Peacock, but I'm sure they come up with something.
Yeah,
you're always gonna be there now. I always wonder, like, do the people that like were there at like WrestleMania 2000, like, what were they thinking? Or like, I always think I'm like, I got to remember the kids now are like 23 years older, so like,
yeah,
bang bang. Linda I think this is like the last one Linda was really involved in, wasn't it? Like before she like kind of like stopped. Like,
and this is like the time she was like most heavily involved in it.
She's still alive, right?
Yeah.
Is she okay?
Yeah.
That's right. Because they're not married, right? No,
they're not separated. I mean, they're not divorced. They're separated. Okay. I think for business reasons. I think they haven't filed for divorce, but I think they're separated.
Gotcha. Okay. So close, man.
Do you reckon the question was probably asked and like it was just like there's no chance in hell? Or
probably. That wouldn't surprise me.
No chance.
It's probably his default response to a lot of things.
Probably. Either that or just went, you're fired.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm in. Oh
God, Jerry Lawler's eyes. You know what's coming next.
Oh, it's the cat fight. I did New Year's Revolution 2006 on Thursday, and they had the gauntlet bra and panties match.
That sounds ridiculous.
I was like, guys, well, as our truth likes to say, this ain't PG, but let's go. I'm like, sure.
A gauntlet bra and panties match just sounds ridiculous.
The fabulous Moolah versus the cat.
We mentioned earlier on actually, like the selling point of this year's WWE2K game is the war games.
God.
Yeah.
And like back in 2006, it was the bra and panties match. Like what?
Yeah, that wasn't one. That wasn't that game. Yeah, it was.
All of it. God. And then I remember they even tried, like, you remember when they did, I was searching through something, I found Balls Mahoney. And you remember when they did the ECW, like, Extreme Expose or something like that, and they had, like, the poker table game or something like that, or, like, a random ECW. I was like, what the hell? When it was, I think it was on, like, Sci-Fi or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, when they, like, restarted it, they had, like, the hour show on, I think it was
I think
Sci-Fi.
it was Sci-Fi. Yeah, because they had the zombie as well, didn't they? On the
Oh.
first episode against the Sandman.
Ladies. Val Venis in this towel.
I used to feel I did a pretty good Val Venis impression. I don't think it'd be there now.
No.
No.
You can't do it now.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
can try and give it a go.
You can't be serious.
Ladies.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Hey, I
You
mean,
can't be
that
serious
works.
with that shirt though he has on, right?
I didn't wear that.
I mean, that's like, jeez. Like I look at the font. I mean, oh my god.
Wait. What does it say? I am what?
God.
Oh, tell me it's the Attitude Era about telling me it's the Attitude Era.
It's just that
Yep.
t-shirt alone right there. My god,
Yeah.
man.
I'm kidding.
The part that gets you the most is the font style. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how many
What?
kids went to
He's
school
like-
wearing that shirt.
Did you see the back of it? This was unloaded and ready.
Like
Yeah.
I wonder how many kids got in trouble taking that shirt to school.
Wow. Puppies. Man,
That's
the fact
ridiculous.
is,
We all went
Terri.
through like school as well, like during like everyone doing like the suck it era as well, like an
Yeah,
NWO.
big time.
how many
stuff, so,
times did Montez Ford do that last? I was waiting for it. I'm like, are you gonna do the pedigree too? Like how many? Like all of them. I think all of them now are just like, we're just gonna go out there and give Triple H some
There's a
credit.
lot of people doing it, right? Like I think
Yeah.
Rhea was doing it a lot during the Rumble
Ra-
or at post Rumble, something like
Raquel
that.
did it too. I
Yeah.
saw. They're just like, we're gonna bring out our.
It's probably from coming from Triple H. Yo, guys, keep me relevant. Start doing this outside in the ring.
If
I
you
can't
want to push
keep
in WWE, just go and do a couple of crop chops here and there.
I
Yeah.
just
It'll make,
can't.
the ball,
I
it'll make the balls happy.
I mean, right? It's the fact that we're even saying that still blows my mind. Like I just can't get over it that Triple H is running everything now. Oh, that's what it keeps doing my TV because I have the Peacock Premium, so it keeps trying to do an ad, but because I paid for it, it doesn't do it. It just goes a black screen.
Yeah,
Why
mine
does it
too.
keep going to a black screen? Look, what the hell? Oh my God, Mae Young.
So if you could, would you actually change back to the network? Because obviously I have the
Yes.
network. I don't have
Yes,
Peacock.
I love the
Oh
network.
yeah, right. That so it's
That's-
gonna stay. It stays a network in the UK, right? Like
That's
in
just-
Europe.
Yeah.
The
I
network
wonder-
was so much. My problem with Peacock, right? Like, because you don't know the interface, Steve. I don't know if you do, but they set up everything by season instead of years. So like, if you go to
Oh,
WrestleMania,
really?
it's season 36, and that's like last year's WrestleMania. This was like season, I don't know,
19?
15.
Yeah, 15 or 15.
Yeah.
15, yeah, right. So it goes by season instead of year, so it kind of throws you off, right? Because you're like,
Wow, yeah.
you're trying to think like, what season was this?
And the biggest thing I noticed too with Peacock and WWE Network is one thing I really enjoyed when they first started and they finally got it up was when they had the matches. You would be able to go say if we didn't want to watch this match, or say if I didn't want,
Yeah,
I
just
didn't
go to the
care,
next match. Yeah,
like you could just skip
Yeah.
to the next match. Now
They-
you have
they
to
had,
actually fast forward, and
Uh-huh.
now like you miss it. But before they had like a time marker where you could click right on the beginning and the
Even
end.
at the end
They
of
don't have
matches,
that
yeah.
anymore.
No,
Yeah,
they got-
it's like the YouTube chapter thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like what the hell, and it was because it was so much easier to find and then it starts right at the program, and like because I like especially for these I like if I haven't watched it, I like watching like the little 3-minute video package that they do to know what the heck is going on, and it just and yeah, like he said, like the seasons, it's so much harder. Like I just want to go in there and just pick WrestleMania and then just go it's just too complicated. Like I literally kept clicking on WrestleMania 220. Thinking it was WrestleMania 2000. I'm like, wait, I have to go down more. I'm like, wait, it's not WrestleMania 20, it's WrestleMania 2000.
Well, this match is not very long started, but I think we
No.
can all agree so far the winner's Val Venis.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, certainly not Jerry Lawler. Jerry, he tried.
Who the hell did he have to bribe to get him booked as a special referee in this match?
I think May is trying to do a Royal Rumble trick again.
He probably had to get beat up by Mae Young to be able to go out there. He said, you know what, you can go out there and deal with those two, but you got to get beat up by Mae Young. Like, it just so, like, I feel like, did you guys see that interview that Tori Wilson came out with and said that she hated everything that she had to do back then?
Yeah.
It's so crazy to think. Like I always think about, I'm like, what is going through these people's minds? Like when they have to go do this.
It
Oh,
just
God.
shows a difference in time,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
I mean, it's a job, right? So if they ask you to do something, you just go do it, right? So,
Yeah.
Mm.
And I
things
guess
were different then to how they are now.
yeah.
You know?
yeah, and I guess it's just that's how it was back then too. And she's made there we go. He had to make out with Mae Young.
Yeah, no points.
Nope.
That's
You
probably
get
the agree.
paid.
That's probably the agreement they had backstage. Yeah, look, we'll let you referee the match, but you're gonna have to eventually make out when they yell.
That's what I'm saying. That's the agreement. Is that where? So that's where Seth got his shirts from. He just called Terri and made her make all of her stuff into shirts.
What did you guys think of the
Boots.
Joker thing? Of the Joker?
The WrestleMania thing.
Yeah, the Seth Rollins is a Joker.
I
I
thought
think
Seth,
it's good.
brilliant.
I thought
I
Seth
think-
was good. I thought Becky it was weird because she didn't have the mask on or anything like that. So it was just like, the Becky part was kind of odd.
And like
Yeah.
that, the cat fight's over. Yay. I think it was good, and I like the one thing I did like is they didn't do too much of what they did in WrestleMania 21. They didn't do too much of like the same. It was an actual like scene from the movie. So if
Yeah.
like you've seen the Joker, you knew what that was, and you realized it was Seth once he was dancing. So I think that's good. It should just be interesting to see how like they do like the Godfather and all the other ones that they have.
Yeah.
Because the ones back then were so good, and like the ones like that they did with like JBL and Cena at the trial, and then the one that they did with I think wasn't it Chrissy and Kurt Angle, and then Eugene.
Yeah,
and they
Harry
did, like,
Masala, yeah.
like
yeah.
all of them just had like their own like different, and I just hope that's like the same thing, and they don't like do like the same thing that they tried to do, and because we'll obviously know, like we ain't dumb. Like I think that's the thing they don't think that we realize like something you did 20 years ago we're gonna remember. Wrestling fans have weird brains.
Yeah. Did you see though at the end they had like the small clips of what seems to be all of them coming out? Rich Holland seems to be Steve Guerrero and the 40-year-old virgin.
Oh,
That looks
man.
that's gonna be fun.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see like the little. No, I didn't see that. The only true. Yeah, because I saw that was the other one that they. Who's doing that one? You said.
It's literally the Brawling Brutes
Brawling
and Drew
Brutes,
McIntyre,
okay.
but Rich Holland's the one on the table that looks like he's going to get the chest hair waxed. There must be
God.
some sort of hidden joke backstage with that.
Yeah, probably.
That's
the
right.
Radicalz.
The Radicalz. This is something I learned. I did not know this is how Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero started. Was the Radicalz and how like they got like I was like, oh.
I think it was supposed to be somebody else, Shane Douglas instead of I think instead of Perry Saturn, maybe it was supposed to be Shane Douglas or one of them was supposed to be, but they left without him.
Yeah, because they had the Revolution group. It was Eddie that wasn't in the Revolution
Eddie,
group.
that's one. Eddie.
Yeah, and but I don't know what happened why Shane Douglas didn't go, but they all went without him, and he ended up going back to WCW for when they did the rebrand with Vince Russo.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like the April 10th one. So it would literally be a week after what we're watching now. But it's fun how they came in though. Like for me, I remember like this one of the Raw moments I'll always remember, like sitting at home not knowing that these guys had left WCW, not having those dirt sheets, you're not having a Fightful Select telling you all this stuff before you get there, and just seeing them walk through the crowd and sit there. It's like then they're fighting DX. It's just like, man, I blew my mind at that time thinking like WCW versus WWE, but actually the people from WCW I actually liked. I wasn't the biggest, definitely at that time was not an NWO guy anymore, and wasn't really never a big Hogan fan either. So for me, like seeing these sort of guys come in, who I was like, those are the matches I was into. See them come into WWF, like I was like, wow, I'm well happy.
Especially like when like they came out in like the crowd and stuff like that, like when they first debuted and stuff like that. Like when like people are sitting in the crowd, it just makes it feel better. Where it's like that, like it kind of feels like how like they do it like the takeovers, where like they have like the people sitting in the crowd. It just I don't know. I kind of like that, like and how like they brought them in and everything. And it's like a group like this is something that got over that was like you said, fighting with DX and everything. It was just like. And I feel like this is a way like they should bring some groups in and be like fighting with like a bloodline or something like that, where like they could get over more than like just bringing in like a 3-man band and have them going out there singing for no reason.
Absolutely. I mean, but that was the original Invasion. The Radicalz was like the tease, the start of it all. So yeah, it's good times.
And then we got Chyna.
Yeah. So cool.
Oh yeah, that's right. That thing she started carrying around and blowing stuff. Like what is it? Fireworks? Is that was in there? I'm assuming, or something. Male business. Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty too Hotty was like low key always my favorite. Like I tried to do the worm as a child, it never worked, but I definitely tried.
Anthony, did you do miserably.
No.
What happened?
I said, can you do the worm?
I cannot do it. I tried it as well, but I cannot do it.
Oh. Another commercial. Oh. Okay. It's got too hot.
Can anyone in our chat do the worm?
Yeah. Anybody in the chat do the worm? Jordan, have you tried to do the worm? For everybody that's still here.
Can anybody do it correctly? That's one of those.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Did you do it correctly? I'm sure we've all tried it, but has anybody actually completed it?
Doesn't Sky Hotty have a daughter as a wrestler or a child? No.
I'm sure. That's a Google search.
I don't know.
I could have sworn I heard he was. I'm thinking I'm the wrong person, but I could have sworn I thought he had a daughter or a son in wrestling.
Eddie Guerrero just didn't care. He just do whatever the hell he felt like it.
So this is like the start. This is like the start of Eddie and Chyna, like eventually veering off into their own storyline.
I think so. When they because didn't they team up for a while there?
Yeah, they were like an item and stuff like that. And then she caught him in the shower with like two other girls and stuff like that.
Steve, did you look that up to see if Scotty's too hotty or not?
I did have a look there, but I couldn't find anything on initial looking.
I'm probably thinking about somebody else then.
Everybody. I feel like everybody that was there back in the day has some type of daughter or family member. How do you guys feel about the Rock's daughter?
I mean, she's there.
Yeah, it's fine. They put her in a group, so that makes sense. Just gotta see how she develops coming out of it.
Yeah.
She's not wrestled yet, has she? So, I mean...
No, right? She hasn't, right?
Taking their time.
Should be interesting to see Roxanne and Miko at Roadblock.
Oh, yes.
And I wonder who Roxanne faces at Stand and Deliver.
I'm going to go Cora Jade.
I need to remember about Stand and Deliver because I'm low-key going to forget with everything that's on that weekend. I'm going to, forget and, people are going to be like, where the hell are you? Stand and Deliver's on. And I'll be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Cora Jade, though, as well. She's do
you think it's some type of stipulation where it's
It's possible. I think that at the moment, if I had to think about stipulation matches, I think there is a chance with GG and JC because JC actually said the line that when it comes to Toxic Attraction, I'm the last one standing in a promo. So I was like, is that a seed or I don't know? But
loser leaves NXT, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah, get him up to the main roster, maybe or something.
Especially with the Raw after Mania, I feel like this one hopefully is good. Because they used to be. And then I don't know what the hell happened.
Is Jay White coming now?
Oh God, that's all I've heard since last night.
I've heard the rumors of people really think there's a chance that WWE gets Kenny Omega after his contract runs out.
I mean, there's so many things that just imagine. Imagine if Kenny Omega really showed up in WWE. That would be just
suppose wild. He has a good relationship with Triple H and they say it's possible.
I mean, that would just be insane.
I wouldn't complain, put it that way.
I know.
No, I mean, even I'm still trying to get used to Cody being on Mondays. Sometimes I'm like, wait a minute. I'm he's like, wait.
We'll bring the Bucks in as well. I mean, come on, we're only missing was it Hangman probably to have the original sort of lineup.
Yeah. What if that's how all of this ended? It would be so wild. Literally. Triple H just makes a phone call and gets everybody back. Just bring the gang all back.
I mean, would that be no pun intended on the match we're watching, but would that be your modern day Radicalz?
I mean,
yeah, on a bigger scale. Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of things that they need to do. These rivalries, even when they had the Shield first come in or Nexus, and they just don't have that. Where we have the Bloodline, but it's they're just they're doing what they're doing, but these groups would go out there and just beat the crap out of everybody for no reason, and just leave them laying. And it was just I always remember that Raw that the Nexus just beat the shit out of everybody and just took off every piece of canvas and just left it, and that's how they ended. I was like, damn.
The night Daniel Bryan got fired?
Yeah. That's right. That was the same night that Daniel Bryan got fired.
Yeah, for everything that happened just because he choked Justin Roberts with a tie.
Oh, my God.
So it's funny to see them now together on AEW, right?
Yeah. They need to relive that moment.
Yeah, they should. They should do it, yeah, right? They should have him choke him out with a tie.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, especially after the Ariel Hawani situation that's
Oh
going on with
yeah,
all of
what's up
them.
with
Who
that?
knows? I don't know with all that.
Tony Khan was real
Yeah.
salty about that.
Yeah, and then Michael Cole had something to say last night, and then
Yeah.
people were blowing. I was just like, oh my god. I was just like, I feel like they just try to find something to talk about.
Mm.
Like,
You notice though, Ariel Hawani though, every time he's been given TV by WWE this weekend, he's literally just like maximized and just taken the camera for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I'm on TV, like, you know, keep me here.
It's par
But
for the course with him.
yeah.
I'm still trying. That whole Tony Khan interview too was like something. That was like the first one. I was like, damn, like this is like it was just like listening to it was just like crazy. Like I don't like. Okay then, and then seeing like especially like how Tony Khan interacts with some of these people, it's like, you know, like I just don't know like if that's a good or a bad thing, because I feel like him coming out there and saying it is like obviously it's gonna blow up, and it's just not a good look on him. Even if like, because all I've heard is Ariel is like a shell at WWE, and that's all he does is like love WWE.
Well, not many people are a fan of Ariel Hawani, so especially on the UFC anyway. So
I know.
It's probably it's just he rubs a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah.
I liked a couple of interviews I've seen with Viscera. The Triple H one is brilliant, but the way he portrayed himself on TV this weekend, I was like, I've not enjoyed that as much. So maybe I can start to see what some are saying.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the worm. Can't do that. Shit, I can't even do a sit up. But I just try to take what everybody says and then just try to take what like I think is. I just try not to get involved in all that. Who's this guy's favorite and that guy's favorite? We'll be here all day arguing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's
we mentioned AEW guys quickly. Obviously, the Shatter Machine was used last night from Edge and Beth. Is there a tease there for an FTR return?
I mean, maybe. They did also did. I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if he has it, but he has all of his tag titles now hung up in his house. He's got the NXT, the Raw, SmackDown, and then the AEW and Ring of Honor and stuff. So maybe, I don't know. I feel like there's going to be, like I said, that's why I'm hoping the Raw versus after WrestleMania. I think we could see like Orton, possibly Ciampa. Where's Ciampa been? Nobody's seen him. FTR, I feel like we could get a couple of returns. Even like Dragon Lee, like we haven't seen Dragon Lee on NXT, and I feel like they're saving him for like a stand and deliver debut or something like that. If that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, that would be a good actually a good place to do it, because it might have already been thinking like, what would they do with like the North American title? And there seems to be like a number of different people, so like a ladder match could be a good way to bring them in.
Most likely. And that's the thing, you could do it where like there's one entrant that isn't in there, and that I feel like something like that is what you need at something like that, because it's gonna be a long weekend. There's gonna be a lot on it. I feel like there's gonna have to be a couple of those moments where people get like their adrenaline back, because it's gonna be long, especially like after once SmackDown hits. SmackDown's on Hall of Fame. It's not gonna stop until after Sunday.
No, it's true.
And I guess if you want to count Raw and NXT too, it's like, they need an off season is what they need. Like football, gosh, football's over. I love football, but
off season will help a lot. It'll give you a lot of time to reset.
Oh yeah, like I tried to watch the XFL. My friend texted me, he's like, "Watch it." I'm like, I just don't want to. I'm like, I just need a break. Like, especially after WrestleMania, like too. Like that's where like the first like couple weeks, I just like just too much. Like
you feel that real reset button. It's kind of like like unless it's like a feud that's carried over, you're just kind of like, okay, a couple more weeks of this. There's not really much more detail that's given to that story anyway. It's kind of like jog along wrestling for like a month.
Yeah,
I think it's just Backlash that kills everything.
Yeah,
the feeling of like WrestleMania Backlash, like it's just a repeat. It's just like it really like sours everything.
Especially with a zombie match as well.
Oh, you didn't like the zombie match?
No, it wasn't for me.
Oh my god, that was just so bad. At first, I thought it was kind of cool because I thought of like The Walking Dead, kind of. But then like I went back and I watched it, I was like, this is lame.
I think it's because like dare I say it, like it felt a bit false advertised. It was like it was going to be presented as a normal lumberjack match, and then on the night it's like, and now here comes some zombies. It's like, okay, if there was something like that was, I don't know, like we had a Mountain Dew pitch black match. Not that I knew what that was going to entail, but like I knew that something was going to happen. So it's kind of like, okay, I've got to think outside the box of what they present. Then they gave us the match they did with the glow in the dark stuff, and I kind of went, all right, maybe the match wasn't the best, but visually I kind of saw what they were trying to go with. Where with this was just like they just sprung zombies apart upon me, and if I'm not like someone that's watching that sort of stuff to begin with, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, maybe it's not for me, like, you know.
Well, and that was the problem is there's, you know, I mean, there's not a lot of people that are gonna be like into that, and like there's I feel like wrestling fans only like a certain thing. Like they like
Did
change
that match
and
have any
everything.
sponsorship to it, or it was just no? Right, it didn't have no sponsorship.
I think
Didn't it? Wasn't that
a
movie out?
though.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
Batista movie?
The movie,
out?
right? The Batista movie. That's what it was. That's why it happened.
Yeah.
Right?
But that was it. I don't think like the Mountain Dew match. They didn't like. They made so much money off of that. That was ridiculous.
That's like $1 million or something that was said like a few days
Did
later.
Chyna just pick up the win here? Is that what just happened?
Yeah, she just
yeah.
That's so funny. Like that's the other thing too is like thinking like even like last night like I like seeing like Rhea take out like Rhea take out like Edge and stuff. Is like you really haven't seen like much of that since like around here because like for a while you weren't seeing like, you know, and I feel like Rhea is like the next type of like person that we could possibly see her become like an IC title or US title. I think you talked about that before on one of your streams, Steve.
Yeah, I mean NXT was the one that brought that idea into light, and now it seems to pick up a bit of steam. A few people I've seen around the sort of wrestling community are sort of pushing for that idea. So yeah, I mean I wouldn't be against it. Rhea's been like fighting the men anyway as of late, so could be something that could be cool that they could do down the line. But it's how she loses it then. Like how do you do it afterwards? Like because they don't really do the the men versus women matches anymore. So
yeah, stuff take the belt off of her afterwards.
Well,
that's gonna be my last match, guys.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Anthony, coming and hanging out, man. Thank you. I know some of these streams are long, so thank you.
No
I appreciate it, man.
Definitely I appreciate you having me, man. Steve's always good seeing you, my man.
It's always good seeing you too, man. And hopefully a retro coming in your future would be good to do soon.
Oh man, a retro, something good. It might have to be that Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage thing in the cage thing. Might have to be that one. Yeah.
I mean, there you go. But yeah, guy, if you want to tell everybody before you go, just to go follow you, and so they could all go subscribe.
Radar for Wrestling on YouTube. You know, I haven't posted a video in a long time, but I'm trying to get more consistent in the days coming, and hopefully another retro review coming soon with the crew. And check me out on there, and appreciate for having me on again.
Thank you, man. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it, and have a nice Sunday. Enjoy your week, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. You take care, guys.
Take care, dude.
Big show. You still good, Steve? Or
I reckon I could do one more match. I reckon.
All right, that's fine.
If I'm honest,
I feel it. It's the first triple threat match.
Sweet. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, no, I feel you. I know sometimes these could be very long and stuff. So
I would. The thing is, if I had nothing to do tomorrow, I'd be here for the whole thing. It wouldn't bother me at all. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why. That's why I put it on these days just to try to get it into like the finale for that WrestleMania week. So that's why I said whatever works for like whoever is on the guest and however they want to stay on. I'm so used to doing them now, especially after like the football ones. These are like nothing to me now. So, but yeah, I appreciate you coming and hanging out for as long as you have.
I mean, I appreciate you having me, Tina. I mean, obviously the invitation is always nice to get, and I mean, I always enjoy doing collaborations with yourself. So I mean, yeah, I'm always happy to be here, dude.
Yeah, man. And we all Kurt Angle. Yeah. So the next match is the Kurt Angle Triple H or Kurt Angle Jericho and Benoit for the first one is for the IC title. The next one's for the European. I forgot that they did two matches, but one for each title.
Yeah. Well, then, just to clarify, she'll be around for both matches.
Oh,
so
no, I mean, hey, that works. That's fine. That works. Kurt Angle, man, he just. Like, I forgot how much, like, I hated him. Like, I was just like, God, like, he's, like...
I was the same. I hated him as well at the start, but it's only when, like, he got to a certain point where you actually appreciate now his brilliance. Like,
he's just so great.
He got everything so quickly down to a T, and, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
2 falls. Jordan's still here. Thank you, Jordan, still being here. I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys all for still being here. Hopefully you guys are enjoying reliving WrestleMania.
What's everyone's favorite match so far?
Yeah, well, everybody that hasn't seen it, because there is a lot of people in here that come by chats that are like have not like been watching it since like they started like WrestleMania like 2007 or 8. So like they really don't remember like a lot of it. Oh God, is this Jericho's? Yeah.
Yeah. Break the walls.
The entrances were even just so good.
Yeah, epic. I remember as well at the time, like the music of Volume 5 came out, and this was like the first track, and I
The
was like,
music makes me
yes.
so mad. I wish they would just the music that they had back then was so good that now it's just like they pick a song and like you can't even hear the lyrics and it's like what are we doing here?
Totally agree. Everything was so well back then.
He's one of those guys. I feel like he's aged like recently bad, but for like a while there, he was like in like he's gotten better shape like recently, but I know for a minute there he got in like bad shape, but he really doesn't look different from what he does now.
No, I mean he's been the master of reinventing himself and keeping himself relevant, and like you say, keeping himself in good condition. Like, I mean, he's always taking breaks from wrestling as well with Fozzy and stuff. Like he went away, was it like 2005, came back 2007. So he's done those sort of breaks as well, come out and been in the same shape as when he left. So, you know, he's a guy that's I mean, when he hangs up eventually, maybe not being as appreciated as much as he should be now at this latter part of his career, but I think he's someone that will be in like the top 10 of all time when people look back at him.
Yeah, and like how he could just get the crowd like just like around him, so like love him, and then you hate him like the next week. Like when he cut his hair and he did that WrestleMania 25 stuff with all the legends, like I wanted to rip his head off.
Yeah. But that Jericho it's just awesome. Like the Soup Jericho and the feud with Shawn Michaels as well at the time, like the amount of heat the guy got. Yeah.
And then Edge, and then when Edge made his return and how he kept trying to break it, and then he was trying to send him back, it was just like rock and roller.
That's good stuff, man. Good stuff indeed.
Kurt Angel. Bumps and bruises. I wonder how much that jacket cost.
Yeah.
I forgot who wins these two. I don't remember.
Who wins what, I think, for me, is that I know, obviously, like, results, but I don't know what. Like I said, there's two championships here, so, yeah.
Oh, what? Did they really? Oh, I thought they were going to skip his entrance. I'm like, that's savage. I'm like, that's awful. Like, it sucks that, like you can't talk about this guy that much. Like, it's just, like he, for a long, like, he was part of, like, my childhood, at least. Like, I remember him from, like, 2004 to 2007. Like, he was in all the big rivalries and everything, and it just sucks that there's, like, a part of, like, history that you can't talk about now because of everything that happened, and it just...
I mean, it's understandable of what happened, especially when they had the tribute show for him.
Oh,
and then,
my God. Yeah, I remember that one. That was not...
I think that's definitely something that maybe have contributed towards it, but you know, because it was almost like a backing, wasn't it? And then like they had to sort of go back on their backing. So yeah. But obviously, there's no question the guy, it was a machine in the ring, one of the best technicians of all time. You can't find his stuff anywhere on here, but I mean, obviously, I've gone through WCW through the pandemic, and obviously, he spent like 5 years there or 4.5 years there. Every single match is there. There's nothing that's been trimmed or cut out. It's just there's always that. How do I put it? Like, I don't know. I always feel like a bit of a weird feeling when I watch his matches now because it's a different impression. Like back then, he was like one of my favorite wrestlers. So
yeah, and for a long time there, like I remember WrestleMania 20. Like I kind of remember, like vividly, like kind of because like I remember like at this time like 2000, my cousins were really involved in it. So they would come over, and my dad had that box that Anthony was talking about, and he would get the pay-per-views. So my cousins would come over and watch it, but I was 4 at this time, so I didn't know what the heck was going on. I was just running around and thought it was cool guys beating each other up. I remember one of these, but I always I remember just that because how brutal that match in 2000 or 20 was with the triple threat, and how he came out, and then the ending with him and Eddie and them holding up the titles and everything.
Yeah,
and it was just one of those things where it's just like. You know, and it's so sad to think about. Like that's how that year's WrestleMania ended, and then that we all know now. Like it just
you can't even relive it in WWE terms. Like I know
that's and then when I go back and rewatch that one on here, I don't even know what I'm gonna say. It just it sucks that And he still
No,
even had good rivals for like the U.S. title and stuff like that too. Because remember the one with MVP, I thought was really good when MVP we came
Yeah.
out into the when he
one
was
of his
coming out of
last.
the what was the thing he came out of, like the tunnel thing, or I forget, didn't he fall?
Yeah, like it's like hard to explain, but yeah, like that sort of blown up thing that he would come out with. Yeah, like inflatable, wasn't it?
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
I forget. I thought he called it something like the MVP. Like I forgot. I don't know.
He probably did. Maybe it was something balling or something. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. That was part of the reason why I kind of wanted to go back and watch some of like the road to, like, so that I knew, like, I didn't like realize, like, I didn't know how this triple threat match got like together, or like the Radicalz. Like I completely forgot about the Radicalz. I was like, oh damn.
Just the amount of matches these guys had, like in combinations, like over the next couple of years after that. I mean,
and it's so crazy. Like that's the thing. Like and that was the thing. Like they've had a lot of the same combinations of like matches, but it's always different. Like it was always like, it wasn't like if you saw Austin versus Rock, and then you saw like or like not even like Jericho and Triple H, and then Jericho versus Kurt. Like it was like different, and then like we would see it like again, but it would like they would just be able to tweak it to a way like it wasn't the same, but it just worked. And now I think they're just lazy, is what it is.
I agree. I 100% agree. Like you said there, like, and you hit the nail on the head there. Like it just feels like it's the same. Where like they tweak it because one would maybe change, become a heel, or one would be like have a different reason. Like, you need to go through this match because it will get you to the pay-per-view or something like that. They had a reasoning for those transitions and to redo those matches, but like you say, these days it's just like, yep. And for the 14th week in a row, we got the Street Profits against Alberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. It's just like, I've seen it. I don't know how many more times I can watch it.
No,
So,
and it just like it's just like, some of the things that they did that would just made no sense at all.
Absolutely,
it just
it sucked.
Yeah. That's okay. Whatever.
Oh.
You can't change it. That's what I've learned. I've just to go because I used to get very upset. Like if like somebody didn't win the title, I'd be like upset. But I just got to realize like it's like, what am I gonna do? I can't change it.
No,
they got this planned in like a month in advance. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, there was so many people like I go back over and think I really saw like main event or something like that, or championship run in them, but they never made it to that area. Like, you know, but like you said, it's in the stars, and people are meant to get there, and that's how it is.
Who do you think in 5 years could be like the next like Sami Zayn type of like story that we could possibly have like in like wrestling, like somebody that's like younger?
And I suppose like an underdog as well. Perhaps you're going with there under that idea. That's a good question. Really good question. Just trying to look into the NXT locker room in my head and who would fit that role, because obviously Bron Breakker is a given, but that's not an underdog story. That's a powerhouse, you know. But I mean, maybe someone like Wes Lee is good at gathering that sympathy, so maybe he's someone that could do such a thing. But I don't know if he would ever get to that level. I don't see that in him.
I feel like Wes is like one of those like Montez kind of. Like he could have like a story like a Montez where it would take him a little bit longer to get over.
Absolutely. I think for the women's division, it's probably a bit easier. Roxanne Perez is definitely one I think has got it there.
The fact she's 21 years old is ridiculous. Like I didn't even know what I was gonna do with 21. Like and that wasn't even that long ago. But like it's just crazy to think like how she's already the champion. She's main eventing. She's gonna main event the biggest show of the year for NXT this year.
Yeah, I mean, she was in the Rumble match and not being horrible to the women in WWE, but she it's not horrible. It's a compliment to Roxanne Perez, really. But I think she's better than more than half of the roster already, and she's 21 years old.
Oh no, for sure.
It's like she could go down as one of the greatest if things go the way that it's aligning at the minute.
She very well could. And again, it's just like the younger that these guys get now is like crazy to think about. Like that so many of these people are so young now that they have so many more years. Like that's why like people like worry, like especially like a lot of these like football athletes and everything. Like some of these guys are like Mahomes is 25 and has 2 Super Bowl rings.
Yeah.
Like you just, you know what I mean? Like it's just like it's a younger generation and people are like, well, you know, she's 21, 22, but like look at what she's doing at 21, 22. Like we weren't doing that. The generation just adapted. Like my
Yeah.
12-year-old cousin shows me stuff that I didn't even know how to do. I'm like, dude, like what? Like these people, like it's just. I feel like in like 10 years, the kids are going to be using tablets by the time they're like 3.
Yeah.
They're
Wow.
just getting smarter and smarter throughout the years.
It's frightening. To be fair, it's absolutely frightening. I mean, there was a period when you hear people say like that, oh, they're 21 and can believe they're doing that. It's like, oh, that's cool, yeah, but I'm 15 and maybe I might be there like that when I'm that age. Now you're like, now I'm old. It's like,
Yeah, literally. That's how I feel. I'm just old. Especially like when my cousin tries to talk to me about things and I got to remember like that he was only born in like 2008. And I'm like, you know, I try to talk to him. I like try to talk to him about certain things, and because like we're White Sox fans and stuff too. So I try to talk about like the World Series in 05, and he's like, I don't remember. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like that's
God.
right. I'm like, true. I'm like, you were born like 3 years after that. I gotta remember.
That's scary, man.
It's just like, oh,
it's like that's your first WrestleMania Hollywood coming up. Like this is the second one. The last one was like 18 years ago. It's like, oh, that's no.
The only thing I'll say I woke up today and I felt like it's a little warmer here in Chicago. It's a little bit like it's a little nicer out. I was finally feeling like that, like some type of like spring where like kind of get that like different type of like feeling where it's not just so like drowsy and like depressing.
Yeah.
It actually feels like somewhat okay to go outside and it doesn't get dark at 3:30, 4 o'clock anymore.
Yeah, of course, yeah, but it's one of the toughest parts of the year when it's like that, isn't it? So
I've tried. I always love watching them like outside too, especially like in April. Sometimes like there's been a few like I've tried to like watch like outside like WrestleManias.
Yeah,
and Chris Benoit won the first one
so
for the Intercontinental title.
There we go.
So now we got the second one for the European title.
And the fun part is that Kurt Angle was not involved in the decision.
Yeah, funny as hell. Imagine though winning a title and you just got to go fight again.
Yeah,
like but that's like this triple threat matches. I feel like one like that is very like it's not like the best, but it's also not like the worst, and it's a good match with 3 good superstars that went out there and like beat the hell out of each other for a good like 10 minutes so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can tell though from this also. I mean, the fact they've got 2 matches, which means they've got to do 2 falls. But like, you look and say this show's like a 3-hour show, and it's like there's 10 matches. Like if this was like nowadays, seeing these 3 together,
Steve, we'd be done at 10. You wouldn't even be able to make it through one.
No, exactly.
Oh my god! And that's the thing. Like even because that was the thing. I was trying to look up the times because, like I said, I know sometimes people can't sit there for 4 hours to watch a WrestleMania, and that's the thing. It's like some of these are like 4.5 hours, and it's just like damn, like right, like the WrestleMania 33 is 5 hours and 50 minutes. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah, I don't know how you're going to do that. I mean,
I have 2 guests. They were at the show, so I'm hoping, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, because That's the thing, like with like these, like once we do get to those, like I'm gonna like skip some of the like promotional things. We don't need to watch we know like Snickers promoted by WWE. We know.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't need to watch kickoffs either if there's nothing on them. It's like yeah.
I think there's only one kickoff match I want to go watch, and I think it's the Battle Royal. I think it was because I forget which one it was, but yeah, they're really because they didn't start doing the pre-show either till like 28, I think.
Yeah,
or it might have even been 30 because I think they started it the year they did it on the network.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, the WrestleMania 30 on the network was the worst of all time.
Because I never had the network at that time, so
it premiered that Monday before, so it premiered the week before WrestleMania. Right. And once everybody found out it was out, everybody was signing up for it. So everybody signed up for it, and I don't think they were ready for it. So they had to shut it down to fix it. And then once they fixed it, every time you would watch a match, it would like freeze, or it would stutter, or it would do. It was awful. And then once WrestleMania came, there were so many people watching WrestleMania that it kept buffering during the match. So we finally got to the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar match, and it started buffering during some of the pinfalls. And I'm like, oh my god! And I had like a big party at my house. I had like a bunch of friends. I'm like, this is really gonna happen, isn't it? And it did not happen it finally stopped because I think finally people just like waited or whatever. But for a while, it was a disaster. I had to go back and rewatch like the stuff that happened with Hogan and everything because I think they just weren't ready for it. They should have done it when it wasn't a WrestleMania week. They should have done it like during like Royal Rumble or something where they could have had time to.
Even probably like a B show pay-per-view just to kick it off. Like, just
like the Elimination Chamber, like last night's paper or whatever. Yeah, I think they were doing Elimination Chamber at that time, whatever. But yeah, it was a disaster. Once they got it going, though, I loved the network. It was just that I always remember because I was sitting in my junior year consumer economics class, texting my mom trying to have her sign up because I forgot like if there was like a reason like they were only allowing certain people at a certain time or whatever, and I just always remember. And then we finally got in, and it was for like 2 months they did that. It was just awful.
Yeah,
they should have just. It was just. It's crazy to think about. That's almost 10 years ago. I was just like, oh my! I got something from my high school that said, "Class of 2014. Here's everybody that was in your class, and here's all your teachers." And I'm like, oh my god, I'm not ready for this.
I mean, I don't even know if I'm ready to hearing that. I mean,
it
shows I'm a bit older. Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. You just got more knowledge and experience. And, you know.
Yeah. Like a fine wine.
There you go. Yeah. And but the referee's not there. That's right.
No,
the referees, man. How many times do you think the referees get knocked out at a pay-per-view? Like,
I mean, if I got like a nickel for every time they did it, I probably would be rich by now. So
probably. And it's so funny because they take the bump, but they're like laying there like they're dead. Like he didn't just like there was one referee. He got pushed over and he like laid there like I was like, bro, like get your kid up, like you're fine. Kurt Angle trying to cheat. Always. He said, I got one title. I'm good.
Yeah.
Benoit. Nope. Jericho. When did Kurt shave his head? Was it after 18?
Yeah. So it was 2002. And I believe the show was like Judgment Day or something like that. Whatever was the May show. And he had a feud with Edge, and that was the hair versus hair match. And then he lost that.
I didn't know that.
Quite an underrated show, actually. That show.
Which one is it?
I want to say Judgment Day. I would go and look now, but then I'd lose the feed of where I'm at. But
true.
Yeah.
No, I'll look after because I was always wondering because I was trying to figure it out. Like, because I was like, when did he lose his hair? 1, 2, 3, and Chris Jericho, guys, is your European champion.
Oh, yes.
Well,
fantastic.
Steve, what were you going to say?
Pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure, man. I'm going to look that information up, though, before I leave you so we can see what it was.
Yeah, there you go. That works.
2002, and it was Judgment Day. Judgment Day 2002.
Isn't it crazy sometimes how the memory like that works? And it's like I do that all the time. I'm like, was it this pay-per-view? Like the No Mercy one with the Hardy Boys. I was like, is that No Mercy? Like it just comes to you sometimes.
Just there, yeah. It's nice. It's nice.
I'm gonna have to go watch that one though because I want to see how he got his head shaved. I never saw it. I want to I like watching like the rivalries to see because then it makes sense. It's like okay.
Yeah. So. I think they went through after WrestleMania. I think they went through 2 pay-per-views to get to where they were. So I think it was a rivalry closer between Edge and Kurt Angle. But definitely worth the time watching. There's the funny stuff in that.
Well, yeah, Steve, I appreciate you coming and hanging out for 2 hours, enjoying most of the show. We got 2 matches left here, so no, it's late by you. I'll let you go to bed. So
I appreciate that, Tino. But I want to say a massive thank you to having me on. I think it's been a lot of fun. If I didn't have to be up in the morning, then I would have gone the whole way. But I hope you enjoy the final hour of the show. Get some memories there for you. Got the big Fatal 4-way to come as well. But no, it's just been a fun time, man, and a great series to bring to your channel. And many good ones to go. I'm sure I'll join you in the chat for a few of them.
All right. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. And I will talk to you soon. Anywhere you want to tell everybody to go follow you. I know you just had a couple shows. You did something last night and everything.
Yeah. I mean, of course, after this, if anyone wants to see a guy doing a review from 5 a.m. last night, doing the Elimination Chamber with one eye open, then feel free to go and do so. SCW, the wrestling channel on YouTube. It's always content, Tino, coming up on an almost daily basis. I try and keep everyone busy during this time of year. Available as well on Twitter and Instagram. Just search those and you'll find me. But of course, you've got the @ handle here if you want to find me on Twitter easily as well. But no, Tino, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. I'll make sure to put it yours and Anthony's socials in the description, everything after once the show's over. So yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and I will definitely have to talk to you soon and figure out something maybe for WrestleMania or something we could do together.
That would be awesome, man. Absolutely would be a pleasure.
I will talk to you. Have a good Sunday night. Get some sleep.
Cheers, man. Take care. Have a good night, everyone.
Well, guys, thank you to my two special guests for coming and hanging out here for a little bit of the show. We still have the tag team match between Kane and Rikishi taking on DX and the Road Dogg and X-Pac. And then we got the Fatal 4-Way, the McMahon in each corner. We got Triple H with Stephanie. We got Mick Foley with Linda, Big Show with Shane, and The Rock with Vince McMahon. So, guys, before we do all that and before we watch these last two matches, we haven't done it yet. Your boy Tino's got to go to the bathroom. He's been holding for a little bit, a couple matches there. So, guys, we're going to take a quick intermission here before we finish the last two matches. Go get yourself a drink of water. Go get a refill of your drink, whatever you're drinking. Go get a snack and come back here and let's finish out the premiere episode of the WrestleMania Throwback. And let's get ready for what WrestleManias we'll be watching next week. So, guys, we'll be back here after this commercial break.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, hearts full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus. But we can't get a job that pays us enough. I'm about to pop up. Fuck you, you're lost. We all know that we never really want a boss. So I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. Yeah, I'ma do what I want to. Something I can't undo. I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots, all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your...
And we're back, everybody. Thank you guys all for sticking here with me. We are, guys, if you guys are just joining us, we got 2 matches left. We are 2 hours and 11 minutes into the show. So if you want to join us officially, make sure you guys go and hit the timestamp. It's 2:11. We're listening to Vince McMahon talk. Get ready for the Fatal 4-Way match. We got 2 more matches left, guys, of the match card. We got the tag team match coming up next with Rikishi and Kane, with Paul Bearer taking on Road Dogg and X-Pac. So, everybody, thank you guys all for sticking here with me. We got Vince. Will they? I don't know, guys. Oh.
I not only promised, I guaranteed to make it right. I'll tell you what, I don't care what he says. Make it right. It's not about what's right and what's wrong. It's about who is the best.
Who is the best?
And tonight I'm going to prove it to the world, just like I always have before. Tonight I'm going to show the world that I am the game. I'm going to show the world who the man is. I'm going to show who the World Wrestling Federation champion is. I will not be beaten because I won't allow it.
He won't allow it.
Because like I've said before, I am that damn good.
He's that damn good. We in Anaheim. Jordan says he'll be honest. WrestleMania 30. Why have you not watched it? Coming out next, we got DX, Road Dogg, and X-Pac. If you didn't know, you better call somebody. Not cool. Not cool. DX with Tori. DX with Tori. Sorry if you guys heard an echoing. I'm trying to make sure I fix the audio. Took off the headphones. We don't need headphones when there's no guest, so, you know. Let's get the vote up for you guys. I don't remember who wins this match, to be honest. Baseball Hall of Fame. Anaheim, California. The D-O-double-G. We got 2 words for you. Suck it! Jordan, do you remember who wins this? Or have you seen this one? I don't know, bro. Yes, I'm back. Sorry, Hassan. Had to take a potty break, bro. My bad. He said he will back that ass up. Oh shit. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. It's Kane. WrestleMania. I was rewatching it the other day. Was playing on my phone. Oh, true. He said I was replaying. He says I got a sneaky suspicion. Kane's a bad man. Poor Pete. Boom. Kane trying to get Tori's ass. We got 8 people here. Thank you guys all coming and hanging out. Appreciate it. Rakishi. Love her ass. He said, please. Oh shit, she getting that stink face. The Jezebel's face. DX said, I'm done with this. He said, I don't know why, but... He just called him a big red retard. That's so bad. You can't say stuff like that, Jerry. Bang bang. Down goes X-Pac. Rikishi looking at Kane. He said, let go. Tombstone. 1, 2, 3. And that's how it ends. Short and sweet to the point. Oh, we go. Oh, we do. Oh, shit. You guys know what's coming next. We got the San Diego chicken, guys. Okay, then. Okay, then. NXT. Oh, I don't know why I was saying NXT. Oh, we busting a move. We got the glasses. Let's go. He said it might just be an extra little base hit. Just gonna be a single real quick. Why isn't Kane doing it? I want to see Kane bust a move. Nah. Doing the worm. I can't do the worm. He said just a picture of his butt. That's funny. Poor the Usos, guys. I wonder how long they I wonder how long they were like, Dad, like, can you stop? And there goes the bird. Pete Rose. Pete, what are you trying to do here, my guy? Pete Rose just got choke slammed by Kane. He said he just went for extra bases. He said this is Pete Rose. He said that's my bet. I am ready. How many more days, Chris? Oh, shit. Pete Rose. Is it The Rock's destiny, guys? I don't know, but guess what? As we like to say, it is main event time here, guys, on the main event episode of or I should say the premiere episode of the WrestleMania throwback.
12 months ago, after every interview, after every run-in, after every backstabbing, after every win, after every loss, after everything they've thrown at The Rock, and after everything The Rock has thrown back, after every chokeslam, after every mandible claw, after every pedigree, The Rock says this. Is if he could do it all over again, he will say, finally.
Finally, I'm back to. Yes, I did actually see that yesterday, Chris. That Bailey went and Bailey went and supported Sasha.
It's not about Stephanie's marriage to Triple H. It's not about the McMahon family saga. It's not about Mick Foley's final match. It sure as hell ain't about the Big Show. The Rock says it's about the WWF Championship.
Troll.
And The Rock says if he has an ounce of sweat to spill, if The Rock has an ounce, a shred of blood to drop, then The Rock says tonight he's going to do exactly what he does best, and that is go out there and lay it the
Let's smack her down.
and the asses. The Rock says he will do it for the millions and millions of Rock's fans. Do whatever it takes because The Rock, the people's champ, said tonight is the night. If you
Man, what The Rock is cooking. As I said, guys, it's main event time. Fatal 4-way elimination match. Who you guys got? Let me know. I just hit my head like that. That's okay. But guys, we here now. Time for the main event of the show. Premiere episode. 2 special guests. They had to head out early, but that's okay. We still here, guys. Thank you guys all coming and spending your Sundays with your boy Tino. Mercedes Monet. Use Bailey's move. Troll. Oh, shit. He said, let go. Mark Short. There he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is the
Yeah, it hasn't been bad, but yeah, as you will see though, Jordan, and as we watch these, I think that it's going to be probably not the best one, but it's not going to be the worst one. As Steve and Anthony were saying, you know, it had some good moments like this match and the triple threat and stuff like that. But I enjoyed this WrestleMania. I think the build was very good.
accompanied to ringside by
24 days. Foley. 24 days, guys, till 2K comes out. We got. Let's go. I'm ready. Or is it 23? Because it comes out on the 14th. So 23 days? Because today's Sunday, Chris. Right? No? I don't know. Maybe. Because remember, the early access comes out on that. Is it that Tuesday or is it that Friday? Oh, no, that's right. It's that Friday. Never mind. I lied. Well, at least the big show. Big show. 7'2", 500 pounds. Cena losses in case, which isn't many. But did you think they do ECW one night stand to RVD? You said they're gonna do some of Cena's huh? Oh, and showcase, which ain't many. But do you think so? Yeah, so we will actually I will be telling you the full list of matches on this week's Road to WrestleMania series. But yes, Rob Van Dam ECW is in that. And then we also have the one with Kurt Angle. We have the one with we got Roman, we got The Undertaker. I've seen the full list. I don't know it off the top of my head, but there's a lot of good matches, but I feel like there is some that they did miss. So we will have to see. But yes, we will definitely be talking about all of that. And we also will be, and Jordan, I told you this, we will go back and watch that pay-per-view after this WrestleMania Throwback series is over. For the Retro series. So we will definitely, we got to start coming up with them so then I could start writing them down. That's right. Okay, that's right. March 14th. You're right, Chris, on that one, bro. The throw song. Let's go. Let's go. I think I remember who wins this one, but like I don't remember who wins. And I certainly don't remember who gets eliminated where. So, should be interesting, guys, to see how this goes. Because if I remember correctly, too, I think whoever gets eliminated, the McMahon has to go into the back with them. So, let's start it, guys. Main event of WrestleMania 2000. Yes. Chris, I have pre-ordered it all, bro. Pinfall or submission. That's it. Let's go. We got about 20, 30 minutes left, guys. So we'll be good. We'll be done around like 7 o'clock. Boom. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Boom. What a slam. I did. I really did enjoy the Elimination Chamber yesterday. I thought it was a really good show. I thought altogether it was really like, you know, it was a really good Elimination Chamber. I think it was probably the best Chamber pay-per-view in a while. We haven't seen Elimination Chambers like that. You know, the women did good. The men did good. Sammy and Roman was great. I thought Sammy was going to win it at some point. You know, I mean, the tag team match was decent. I mean, you know, I thought all around it was a great show. And it definitely gets me excited to see what happens as we now, guys, as obviously you guys know, we got no more pit stops besides the Roadblock next week. But I think it was good, and I think Road to WrestleMania, it's gonna begin. It's gonna get hot and heavy. It's gonna be great. And I just can't wait till Hollywood. Boom. Choke slam. All kicked in the ball sack. What's up, Chumblebee? Which one was 2019? Boom. 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 Three on one. Get the Big Show. Get him. Beat his ass. I'm the Big Show. Oh, Mick Foley taking out the game. Yeah, okay, you're right, the Kofi Mania was good. I'll give you that, that was good. But I'm just saying, all together, this whole show was fantastic, from bottom to top. And 1, 2, 3, and the Big Show has been eliminated. He gone. He said, is it over yet? Nope, it's now down to a triple threat match, Hassan. It's down to Triple H, The Rock, and Mick Foley.
So the Big Show has been eliminated, leaving us down to 3 men now. Remember, no disqualifications. Every decision must be by a pinfall in this matchup.
By just a pinfall. I'm gonna die here, guys, on the live stream. I'm like, uh-oh. Vince is waving. Vince is like, bye-bye. I'm feeling okay. I don't know what happened. I got a bad cough real bad there, Hassan. He trying to reason with him. He said, come on. Oh, shit. Is it going to be 2-on-1? Why is that my huh? Yeah, beat Triple H's ass. The Rock and Sock connection was born. Why is that, man? I don't know. WWF champion. Even though I picked the Rock. Mick Foley and the Rock. The Rock. WWF title on the line. Boom. On to Mick Foley. He said, yeah, yes, we did his song. It's busted it open before. Boom. Barbed wire. Boom. DDT. Making his final appearance at WrestleMania. Uh-oh. Mr. Sacco. Boom. Boom. Using the WWF title. Shane and Vince are different sides in this. On different sides in this, a new thing. For this year, they were, yeah. And then next year, Eric, they actually face each other at WrestleMania. So, or is it WrestleMania, is it 17 or 18? I think it's 17. They face each other in a street fight.
That could be a turning point in this matchup right here. It looked like The Rock was going down at the hands of the man of claw, as many have before him. Smile on Stephanie's face now. Concern on the face of Vince. All three men are down.
Rocky, Rocky, Rocky.
Chanting for The Rock. Triple H is stirring. Triple H back up to his feet. Somehow he's standing. I don't know how he's doing it. I don't either. He's the game, that's how. Straight right hand by the game on The Rock. But Vince McMahon's got a chair. Where's he going? Vince McMahon has a chair. Taking a chair to his wife, Linda?
Oh, Vince wants to take a chair to who? Was it 17? Okay. So that will be the next WrestleMania we watch. That will be Thursday. Yeah, Thursday will be that one. Hold on. 2.
That's the way you want to see it, JR. Let's not play any favorites here. Every man for himself. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
For the richest prize in our business. Right. That's all the Rock hands. Their bullies last night in the ring is here right now at WrestleMania with the WWF title on the line in the main event.
WWF title on the line.
This should be all.
2. Oh, kick out by The Rock. Vince was almost in the ring.
Man, I'll tell you, it cannot get any closer than that. Senior referee Earl Hebner in great position. Mick Foley has the advantage in a chair. Oh, Vince! Vince, that's your chair! Mick Foley has the advantage. No! Until now, The Rock has kicked that chair back in Mick's face. Now the smack's being laid down on Foley.
Boom. DDT. Going in order. Yes, we are going in order, Jordan. Yup. So 17 will be Thursday. 18 will be Saturday. And then 19 will be Sunday. Because we're going to be doing them on Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. From today until the Thursday night before WrestleMania. So we're going for a ride, baby. Get on or get out. We got about, like I said, we got about 10 special guests lined up. Maybe we'll have more if they join. Not. Bro, we going all hell yeah, bro. Let's go, bro. Let's go, Tino. Let's go, man. Yes, sir, Jordan. You gonna come, everyone? I better see Jordan here at least for 1 minute every episode. You don't have to stay for the whole one, Jordan. Just say what's up. Boom. Two. We can't do this half-ass, Jordan. We gotta do this right, bro. 27. The Rock is a year older than me right now. We were talking about age earlier. The fact that all these guys in their late 20s is disgusting.
WWF title on the line
Only enemies. Oh shit, let's see the McMahon start fighting. We got 10 people here. Thank you guys coming and stopping by. Appreciate it. Nah. Nah, what? Trouble B, we gonna fight, bro. Don't do it, Mick. Don't do it. Boom. He said move. Mick Foley is hurt. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Pedigree. And that's a 1. That's a 2. And that's a kick out. Mick Foley is not done yet. Let's go. Let's go. We got about 20 minutes left, guys. 20 minutes. Come on, Mick. And that will be a 1, a 2, and a 3. And Mick Foley has been eliminated. Damn it. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Mick. Well, as you guys know, this obviously is not the last time we will see Mick Foley at a WrestleMania. Bro, I think so, yeah. If I remember correctly now, yes, I think that's what happens. But it's so funny because Jordan, it's funny. Stuff comes back to you like that once, like, you watch a little bit or something. I forget how long this is the last time we see Mick for, though. I think he's on the next Raw, if I'm not mistaken. He's eliminated. Don't mean he can't whoop some ass. We down to 2 men. Can The Rock win? Kick out.
first man to score pinfall now is the WWF champion. And the Rock with a thunderous clothesline. A good over. Close the game. Uh-oh. Triple H. Being taken. Where's it being taken to? While the Rock through the pin on Buchanan now. There could be no disqualifications. Who's going to score the pin here? Who's going to walk out of WrestleMania as the WWF champion? They're in no man's land, not the promised land, on the outside. Oh no, a suplex on the concrete. For the love of God, a suplex on the concrete. Triple H's body just spat off the concrete like an expelled Moolah. Help him, Stephanie, help him. Do something. Stephanie's husband, Triple H, in deep jeopardy here. With the World Wrestling Federation Championship on the line. Face first into the steel. And another
They beating the hell out of each other, guys, on the outside of the arena. Far from over. You can't see him. You can't see me. They're fighting the crowd. Look out, look out, look out. Timekeeper's table, everybody. Boom. 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 Ooh, ow, his head bounced off. Man, this match, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've seen this match, but there's so many things in this match that we've seen since we started it that I just don't remember. So, it's really nice to go back and do this. I can't wait to do the rest of them. Power drive on the stairs. Wow. Yep. Power drive, pile driver. Like we were talking about. Yeah, that's probably why they stopped doing all the chair shots, because they just don't. Yeah. How did he do that? Now they fighting back into the crowd. Anthony was saying they fought in the crowd at the show that he went to and everything. The AEW show. And they're doing this like 4 times in this match. I don't know where he was at either, guys. Rock, you at Mania. Full circles. I forgot how The Rock lost, though. I feel like something happens, Jordan. Boulder bodies. Pile driver. Jordan, you still here, bro? Jordan, you did say that a few times. I'm sorry you did say that. I didn't acknowledge you. I didn't acknowledge Jordan. I'm sorry, bro. Bro, the fact that WWF was on VHS is great. Like, so funny. Oh, there's Shane. I answer you too, Tino. Don't have no idea. It's been, I was like 7 or 8 years old. Bro, imagine if it still worked. Is this, I wonder, this is kind of how they must have set up the street fight then. Only thing, upper stacks, man. PPV 1994 06, man. VHSs were the shit. Shane beats Vince with the chair. Shane's still out there with the chair. One, two. Kick out. Yeah, the old stuff is, Hassan, the old stuff is just a lot better than what a lot of it is now. Two. Kick out. We got Frank with the like. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you, bro. Coming, hanging out. Appreciate all you guys. Boom. Face buster. We got about 10 minutes left, guys. 10 minutes left. So, everybody, 10 minutes left. 10-minute warning. I mean, at least that's the good thing. At least we know how long these pay-per-views are. So we could prepare ourselves. Rock bottom. No DQ. Oh, Vince is back. Vince is back. Oh, shit. Vince has the chair. Oh, and he hits the Rock. That's right. Yup. That's right. Yup. That night. Wow. Man, for $5 a pop. Now it's $50. Or thank God for the network. Peacock. That's right. That's right. Vinnie Mac turned on the Rock. That's right. And it's a 2 count. That's why I remember this one. Because that's right. Vinnie Mac turns on the Kid, Rocky Maivia, Dwayne Johnson, and that's right. It's all coming back to me now. That's 1, 2, 3. Yup, that's right. Yup, that's what happened. Wow. It's all coming back to me. Me rewatching it, now I know why I don't remember it. It's because that's right. Vinnie Mac turning on the game, or joining the game, I should say, turning on The Rock. Oh, someone recorded it. No, someone reordered it and bought the pay-per-view, right, Tino? They would record it on a VHS tape. Oh, I got it. Okay. I see. So it was what did they call the DVDs back in the day? They were burned to VHS tapes. The evil genius is hugging his daughter. Vinnie Mac. That's right. I completely forgot. That's right. Wow. And The Rock got screwed. $5 to be up to date. I mean, hey, bro, that's all worth it, right? Rock, go up there and beat Vince's ass. Yeah. Yeah. Rock bottom to Shane. Beat up Vince. Get his ass. Rock bottom to Vince. Come on. Rock bottom Stephanie. What a rotten human being he is. Rock bottom, Steph. Look at, like, the eyes are so great. Rock bottom, boom. Rock bottom to Stephanie. Team forward. What's up, bro? Thanks for coming and hanging out. And I did actually read up on that apparently The Rock was supposed to win this match. He should have won this match. He won the Rumble. Back before she got implants. You're funny as hell. Not the people's elbow. Boom. The people's elbow, everybody. Man, what The Rock is cooking. What The Rock says. What The Rock says. What The Rock says. Yeah, I was reading up on that. Yeah. I didn't know that either for a while. But yeah, I ended up seeing that was... He should have. He really should have. What The Rock says. Triple H is still your champion, but the McMahon family laid out after WrestleMania 2000. Vince don't know what to do. He's like, oh, damn. Poor Steph. Chris Jericho was supposed to be in this match, but changed their plans to Hal Foley. Interesting. Team Forward, I didn't know that. That's interesting. Team Forward, you should have been here since the beginning. In the beginning, giving us all these fun facts. Makes it worth it rewatch. Yeah. It's the greatest sports entertainment, everybody. And guys, that is WrestleMania 2000 in its entirety. I appreciate all of you guys that came and spent your Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, Sunday morning, Sunday night, wherever you guys all may be. I appreciate you guys all. Like I said, spending it. I appreciate the two special guests we had here. We had SCW Wrestling, Steve. And we had Rated R for Wrestling, Anthony. I know, bro. I appreciate you stopping by, though. No, I know, bro. I know people are busy on Sundays, so that's why I appreciate you coming and hanging out. I appreciate your fun facts, though. If you got any more, bro, let me know in the comments. Let me know. But, guys, that was WrestleMania 2000. At least now we can say we got the first retro WrestleMania throwback in the books. And now we can go forward. Because as I was talking about earlier, guys, and I was saying it to Jordan, we will be doing these 3 times a week leading up to WrestleMania in Hollywood. We will be starting, and like I said, we'll be having special guests here. 3 times a week, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. I don't know the times exactly on every single one yet, but I'll obviously tell you guys as soon as I know. I just want to make sure we have the time and we have everybody that wants to come and watch it. So, I hope all you guys will join me for this series that we will be doing all the way leading into the week of WrestleMania, when the finale of the series will be kind of fitting as we end it with the ultimate thrill ride that was WrestleMania 33. So, it's going to be a fun ride, guys. The first one in the books, and we only got 17 more to go. So, thank you guys all for joining me here today. Thank you for all joining me here yesterday for the Elimination Chamber. Let me know how you guys are feeling about all of that. We'll talk more about that tomorrow during Raw. We'll be talking about everything. Obviously, we'll be seeing Edge confront Austin Theory about his U.S. Open challenge. What's next as we continue the road to WrestleMania? Bianca now has her opponent. We'll be seeing Khan the Dom and Judgment Day. We got a lot of questions still to be answered, guys. We'll be live the rest of the week, obviously, as you guys know, for Raw, NXT, AEW, all that good stuff. So, the first one is in the books. We look forward to Thursday. We got WrestleMania 17, and we will now be joined on WrestleMania 17 by my man Juggernaut, Justin. Justin's coming on the show. He's joining us for WrestleMania 17. We begin the Rock and Stone Cold rivalry. We see Triple H. We see Undertaker. We see the McMahon, Vince versus Shane in a street fight. So it's kind of fitting that's kind of how this ended here with them fighting. Mr. Kennedy, though, did get injured a lot. He really did. We were talking about it, Anthony, Steve, and I. I really wish Mr. Kennedy would have been able to have he was great. I think he could have been a world champion. I think he could have. So, guys, that's all that I have here for you, though, on this Sunday night. The full schedule for us this week will be out tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you guys look out for the full schedule. But like I said, we'll be live for 3 WrestleManias next week, 17, 18, and 19. We'll be live for the weekly shows. And then we'll be live, obviously, for the road to WrestleMania. So we'll still be here live next week. But I will show you guys the full schedule tomorrow. So, I appreciate you guys coming here and hanging out. I hope all of you guys have a great Sunday night. Go get some sleep because we have another great week. It's going to be a fun one. I hope all you guys, like I said, have a great one. And that's all I have here for you. I'm going to stop rambling because I feel like what I'm doing now. So, guys, that's all I have for you. And until tomorrow night, when we come back here and watch Monday Night Raw, this is your boy Tino, signing out. But before we go, Mickey, go and tell everybody where they can go find your boy Tino. As we now, guys, are at the big 5-0 away to 800. We're at 750 subscribers, and you guys are killing it. So, guys, continue to do your thing. We're on the road to 800. We're one step closer. So, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and all that good stuff. But if you haven't yet, Mickey, go and tell them where to go find them. Go and find your boy Tino. I'll see all you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw.
Go follow us on SoundCloud, Spotify, at Tino's Time. Also, Tino's Time Wrestling on Instagram and Facebook. Tino's Time 1996 on Twitter. But then, you got the TikTok and Instagram. So you gotta hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe on the road to 800. And finally, turn those notifications on.